powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you deny funny face. It's not my brother. Today you deny funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
It gives me great privilege to congratulate GhanaWeb on your 22nd anniversary. You have been a trailblazer in providing accurate and timely news, and we salute you on all your achievements and accomplishments. We wish you another 22 years of top-notch professional journalism. So congratulations once again, and keep up the good job.
again, Charlie. If today is your first time on my YouTube channel, you know what to do, guys. Hit the subscribe button. I've realized most of you that watch my YouTube videos are not subscribed to my channel. Hit that red thing you see here and join the family. I'm currently here at the Marvel's Mini Golf Club, and what happens here is you can come and play mini golf course with your friends, family. They also have a restaurant. So I'm coming along with you. I'm coming to meet a friend who is called Marcos. He's also a YouTuber. I'll introduce him to you soon. And so let's go kick his ass, because the loser pays the bill. Let's go.
So this is Marvel's Mini Golf and Restaurant. The weak one is normally behind it. The thumbs just need to be on a straight line towards where the head comes out.
Okay.
So you're trying to swing your whole arm like this.
Into the hole here.
Yeah. So you're going slowly, and then you just release. So the ground, they just go slowly, and you tap gently.
Yeah, that's a very close. That's two. So how do you count it?
That's 2 strokes. I take 1 shot there.
So you keep counting to the next, continue or per golf course?
You'll be given a scorecard where you write the score of every hole.
Oh, okay.
So you take 2 shots here, you write 2.
Okay. I'm kicking your ass today. So guys, let me know in the comment section who you think is winning. Who do you think is winning? Me or him?
Since he's experienced, I think I'll give it to him.
You give it to him because he's experienced. Is it because he's masculine?
No, it's not about that, because this guy has done this before. So
look at the way he's feeling, like he's so happy and excited.
This guy has done this before, so.
Guys, let me know in the comment section who you think is winning, because I'm kicking his ass today. And the winner pays for the bill. Deal. Okay. Anyway, it's 20 cedis per person, including kids. Yeah. So 3. I think I'm leading.
Yeah,
so,
you're leading now.
You know, I'm smiling because I'm leading. I'm leading Marcos.
So far, so good.
You're 10. So far, what? Let's go. Ah, look, it's coming back. So this is 1. Yeah. I think you need to hit it harder. Oh, so sorry. What's our ball? Let the real pros teach you. So when it goes out, what happens? +1. So +1. So you have 3. Okay, and then you can put it anywhere, right? Or you have to start. Okay, sure. So because it went out, he has to start here. Yeah. Okay, so he's very close. No, don't touch it.
Go and get the ball. Go to the other side.
Go to that. Then you give you another ball.
So that was 4.
Yeah.
So that's 5.
One ball. Guys, you see, this shows that he's losing. Yay, 6.
Uh-oh. Went out. So 2. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, if you enter, it's a miracle.
3, 4. And I had in 6.
And I had 4, so I'm leading. I'm still leading. Like, this is the second time leading. Marcus, your fans will be so disappointed. Like, please better take the right score.
Yeah, I'm taking. How many? 3, right?
Yeah.
Or
No,
4.
4. And you were like 6. Yeah.
Everything is on point.
Everything nice. One of the most difficult holes because it slopes up. And let's see how he does. Oh, you're doing well. Three, 4. That's good. You beat me on this, and you had 7 chances, and you still missed everything. This is the face of shame. Guys, you can tell from the way I'm sweating that I'm doing an absolute good job. So we are currently on hole 7. This is hole 7, rite of passage. Each hole has an inscription. So we are currently here at the row 7. So let's see how it goes. This time around you are starting. So yeah, you are starting. So let's see how it goes. You have to record the previous one. Hole in one. Okay. Let's see how it goes. I'm definitely sure you are paying for this. Okay, that's 1. 2. 3. 4. Yay! Okay, so my 10. On 10, it says easy go, easy come, easy go. Let's go.
Easy go.
Easy come, easy go.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go.
Uh-oh. Oh
my god! Guys, come and see this, come and see this, come and see this, come and see this, come and see this! I got there! Just with one stroke. My god, we got that! I'm so excited. That was a good one. Like, that's like the first time of hitting the ball and it enters straight. It's fun. There is also a stream, so imagine if your ball falls here, you have to start all over again. The hole, let's see how it goes. You are very close. 3 at 14, which is called the Rocky Road, and I mean the names explain it for itself. This is it's like a path with a lot of blocks. I think that explains why it's called that. Oh wow, Marcus just dipped his ball into the water. I thought you said you've been here before. So what happened? There was no water here.
Yeah, there wasn't water.
Oh, okay, now you have to pick it. I don't know how you're going to do, but it means you are going to get your club wet. So sorry for you. So if you are from Team Marcus, let me know in the comment section. Yeah. If you are from Team Stella, I mean, this is a perfect place for your friends, for your family, for your loved ones. You can come here and play. It's very exciting. You don't have to know how to play golf to be able to play this. It's very easy. You can just learn it. It's just like hitting balls, and I think it's exciting. You don't have to be bored in Accra. I always encourage people to try and leave their homes, and so this is one activity you can do. It's 20 cedis per person, and so for 2 people it's 40 cedis. You can come here, spend some good time, and they also have a restaurant, and so you can come and eat. And it's not a sponsored ad, but yeah, you know I always come along with a good plug. And so yeah, and if you're also here, head to Marco's channel. Come around, Marcos. Head to Marco's channel. What do you do on your channel?
Oh, travel stuff, travel videos, and you know, just subscribe to my channel and see what I have. Or you can just visit my channel if you like what you see, then just subscribe.
Oh, so far it's been exciting. Oh, look at this little girl. She's playing. How are you? You're fine. Jump harder. Higher. 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 Woo! We just ended the greener side, which is 17. We are currently going to the 18th, and the 19th is the last, right? 18th is the last. So we are currently ending the last 18th hole. Let's see how it goes. Who are you rooting for? Are you? I know, right? It's called T-Total.
Yeah.
So who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for yourself or for me?
Oh, for myself.
Yeah.
I'm winning.
Okay guys, let me know in the comment section who is winning so far. This is going to be the last one, and it looks difficult because you are going to be, this is an obstacle here before ending here. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, as you can see, there are other people playing. Are you going again? Oh, okay. Who won the first one? You did. Yay! Toffee for you. It's so exciting. I mean, there are a lot of couples, a lot of friends ahead here playing, and so far so good. Very tricky. Last.
So wait, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling super excited. In fact, let me just wipe my face because I know I'm going to do justice to him. As I said earlier on, I'm going to kick his ass, and so this is the last exit to kick his ass. But this one is very tricky. Let me show you. So there are 3 holes here. 1, 2, 3, and that's the only way you can cross to the next section. And so let's see how it goes. I mean, I think that's why it's called T-Total. Yeah, because it's the most difficult. Oh. Oh. Okay, 1.
One, about to play. 6.
I give up. I give up. I give it to. But I mean, I did well in the other.
The first ones.
Yeah, this is very terrible. I ended so bad.
Yeah. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll calculate and we'll let you know the scores.
Yes, who wins?
Yeah.
the other couple that started before us, they are going again. So it means that once you pay 20 cedis, you can play as many times as possible till you are tired. I mean, till you leave the place. I think it's very cool. It's cool for 20 cedis. It means if you come here early enough in the morning, you can play like 3 or 4 times, and that's a good activity for a day. Today is a Sunday, and I think it's a nice way to spend your Sunday after church. So guys, I don't know if it's for kids. I don't know if it's for kids or for adults, but I mean, this is celebration. Cheers. So before we check who wins, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. I'm so excited. He took the record, so he's smiling because he knows who won, but I don't. Charlie, open it. Let me see who has won. Okay. So per the scoreboard, Marcus got 74 and Stella got 77. And remember, the guy already said the one score loses, and so this is the face of shame. Cheers.
And she's paying the bills.
And I'm paying the bills. That's the most. I know. That is the sad part. So the deal was the losers pay, and so I have to pay for our bill. So you're watching me pay.
Oh.
Like,
losers pay, that was the deal.
Tell him to change his mind. Eh?
Losers pay.
That's a deal.
It's a fair deal.
Guys, I don't know. I want to cry.
I'm making you
I want to cry. Yeah. So this brings us to the end of this video. We had a good time. Thanks to Marcos. We had an amazing time, even though he won and he made me pay. I'm so sad. I'm so sad I paid. The thing has pained me.
It was a deal. A deal is a deal.
A deal is a deal, yeah.
Deal is a deal.
But I mean, it's one of the exciting things you can do when you are around. And the good part is it's in a prime area in Jowulu. I pass here every day to work. But I always, I mean, I've been here to eat before, but I usually don't come here to play. And so today has been my first, and it's a good experience. And so yeah, you know, you guys, I come along with you. Do want to also subscribe to
my channel.
What's your channel name?
Marcus Pobi.
Marcus Pobi. Yeah. What does the Pobi mean?
The Pobi? It's my surname.
It's a name?
Yeah, it's my name.
Hey, wow, this is like some British name. So guys, until next...
The panties that you name...
yeah. Until next time on my YouTube channel, I love you all. Thanks for coming along with me. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the amazing messages, texts. Hey, did I say text? Comments, shares. I love you all.
And a successful program. This and many more we ask. In Jesus' name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Another round of applause for Mrs. Sam. Please, you can do better. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister for Information and Member of Parliament for Fonsia Yorubi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, would like to state here that we are glad that the following organizations, embassies, media stakeholders, companies, and other partners have agreed to join us at today's conference. The UNDP, UNESCO, USAID, UNICEF, WHO. We also have media partners, including the GIJ, NMC, Pring Park, Graphic, the Ghana Journalists Association, the Media Foundation for West Africa. For the companies, we have MTN, we have GOIL, we have Total Petroleum, we also have MEDA, and of course, we are expecting more to join us. We're happy this morning to have the US Embassy, the Norwegian Embassy, and the Canadian Embassy reps also joining us this morning. Please give yourselves a round of applause and thank you for honoring our invitation. Next on the program is a welcome address by the Director or the Chief Director of the Ministry of Information, Mrs. Mamle Andrews. Please, a round of applause for her.
Thank you very much, Kweku. Honorable Minister, Your Excellencies from the US Embassy, the Norwegian Embassy, and the Canadian Embassy, Members of Parliament for the Select Committee on Communications, Country Directors, Heads of Delegations, Program Managers, Chairpersons, Civil Society groups present, members of the Media Coalition, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to each and every one of you. I stand here on behalf of my minister, the Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, who is also the Member of Parliament for Ofuasi Ayerbi, as well as the Ministry of Information, to warmly welcome you to today's program. Before we get started with business, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who sends valuable feedback towards the preparation of this meeting. And indeed, it has assisted the ministry in planning it successfully. We could not have done that without you, so thank you. This morning's program, distinguished guests, marks the beginning of a bond of friendship between our ministry and our dear development partners to discuss matters of national importance and mutual benefits. We are excited and we are proud to host this maiden meeting here at the Alisa Hotel this morning with all of you in attendance. And we are of the firm belief that this engagement, this relationship will transcend generations. It has been my minister's desire that this engagement with our development partners is institutionalized and held annually to enable us take stock of our collective efforts and to identify areas of improvement. Honorable Minister, we thank you so much for your leadership and for your insights that you have given towards this program. We believe that as a ministry, we can count on all of you to make these engagements a success every year. And indeed, your presence here today leaves us with no doubts that we can continue to count on you to respond to our call every year. Ladies and gentlemen, the next couple of hours will help us all get to know more about the initiatives being implemented by the Ministry of Information pertaining to media, the media sector, as well as the purpose for which we are gathered here. I hope that we'll find the discussion stimulating and will participate fully to help enrich the work of the ministry. At the end of the program, it is our belief that the objectives for which we called this meeting will be met. Before I take my seat, I'd like to thank you once again for taking time out of your busy schedules to be part of this meeting, and I pray that we will have fruitful deliberations. So welcome to this program, and thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the Chief Director at the Ministry of Information, Mrs. Mamle Andrews. Shortly, we'll hear from our Honorable Minister for Information, but I want to use this opportunity to acknowledge some dignitaries who are here with us. As we move on, I will acknowledge more. But right now, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Stephanie S. Sullivan. Please, a round of applause for her. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. And she's here. She's leading a delegation of her team who are also here. Ginny, Grace, and the team are all here. Joyce, thank you very much. Also here is the Chairman of the National Media Commission, Mr. Yabuidwa Ibuafo. Please, a round of applause for him. I have also spotted the President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Alpha Moni. A round of applause for him, please. We also have the Executive Secretary of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Mr. Suleiman Abrahima, also here. Please, a round of applause for him. And then I will do this final introduction and then we'll move on. The Rector for the Ghana Institute of Journalism, Professor Kwamina Kwansa Edu, is also here. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue with the special recognition as we move on. But right now, we're here to listen to the purpose of this conference. And to do that is the Minister for Information, Honorable Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. A round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. The U.S. Ambassador and representatives of other missions, including Norway and Canada, that are here with us this morning, the representatives of the foreign and finance ministries that are here, the reps of the other development organizations, including the USAID and the UNDP, the representatives of the Committee on Communications from the 8th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, private sector reps, reps from academia, civil society, the leadership of the National Media Commission and the Ghana Journalists Association, good morning to you all. Let me start by expressing my personal appreciation and the appreciation of the government of Ghana for your continued partnership in our collective effort to build what they call a good society for our people. Evidence abounds that when like-minded groups coalesce around a common objective, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, an expression used by the British Edmund Burke in 1778 to describe the role of the media in the governance system remains true centuries on. Indeed, the fourth estate of the realm is a major influencer, not just of our politics and governance, but even more importantly, of the value system of the broader Ghanaian society. In 2014, the researcher Laila, in examining the impact of media in the socialization process, found, using Albania as a test case, that mass media has enormous effect on our attitudes and behaviors, positively or negatively, as a society. It's important, therefore, that the entire society takes an interest in what mass media projects and how it in turn affects our governance and socialization. Ghana has built for itself a robust culture of independent, free, and fierce media practice since before independence. Despite the occasional sporadic incidents of media attacks and the complaints about media misreportage by various segments of the society, Ghana's media landscape continues to generally be the toast and envy of many globally. But media practice has significant challenges. In Ghana, for example, though we are now nearing the completion of the latest research work to collate empirical as a list of the challenges that media faces today, a cursory analysis already highlights a number of challenges that must be urgently attended to. For example, Wikipedia's narrative about Ghana's media says that despite its relative freedom, the media in Ghana faces challenges including poor salaries, under-resource, and a lack of training. As a result, journalists in Ghana find themselves susceptible to many undesirable practices, especially affecting the quality and altruistic nature of the work that they're expected to do. Elsewhere in Nigeria, for example, there's more extensive research on media challenges. It highlights poor remuneration, corruption, urban elite-centered bias, and limited expertise among journalists. And this is included in the research done in 2015 on challenges and constraints of media in Nigeria by the researchers Kadri, Mohammed, Raji, and Suleimana. These challenges manifest in various ways in the work of the media. Sometimes misreportage, sometimes amplification of opinions that are based on limited data. Some have resorted to lawsuits, public call-outs of the media, and sometimes campaigns that undermine the work that the media does. At other times, some other entities have resorted to limited supportive interventions such as training programs and supply of logistics and equipment to support the media. And here, I'd like to applaud the work that our colleagues at the U.S. Embassy do in this regard with us, in addition to the work that many of the other development partners do. The Ghanaian journalist, ladies and gentlemen, generally means well. He's only trying to do his job and to earn a living. She's only trying to contribute her quota to building a good society and doing so the best way that she knows. If we are truly interested in getting this all-important fourth estate to maintain and even build on the high standards, then the broader society needs to take an interest in how to assist the media with interventions towards these goals. The state effort to support the Ghanaian media began several years ago, even before this administration. Successive governments have attempted to aid the media with interventions that are targeted at helping resolve some of the challenges without seeking to unduly influence the media. Other development partners, as I mentioned earlier, other times have offered training on election and other matters of peculiar interest to those development partners. The private sector has also at times offered training support for business or sector-related reporting. The outcomes of these interventions, however, have not achieved as much impact as we all desire. The recent examples of the Media Development Fund of the previous administration, the media in Ghana, require relevant, timely, sustained investments to improve the quality of its output. The task ahead of us, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as development partners, as people in the private sector and civil society, is to explore how we can now coalesce around a set of media support programs that respond to the most pressing needs of the Ghanaian media and put our concentrated best energies behind them. City FM journalist, and here we commend the NMC for utilizing the office on its programs for that purpose. Additionally, the framework for curriculum development by the stakeholders and academia for media capacity enhancement is also expected to help deal with the gaps in media practice and enhance the media's contribution to our growth and development agenda. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the importance of these initiatives in our nation-building efforts cannot be overemphasized. We have therefore invited you all here today as partners to join our efforts in providing complementary technical and financial support towards this endeavor. Your partnership will help in ensuring that the limited impact of these programs and the true potential is now widened to reach all the regions of this country, especially the places where they are needed the most. Your human capital resources and your financial resources will go a long way in underwriting the success and impact that these programs can yield. We know that resources post-COVID are constrained the world over. But we also know that now is the time to make the necessary investment in our fourth estate so it can play its full role in stimulating quicker recovery and strengthening further our democracy. To our private sector colleagues, many of who are represented here today, and I thank you for making time to be with us, you are equally an important stakeholder group necessary if we are to succeed at this endeavor. You are one of the key groups that is affected by the work of the media. The media needs your support too, not just commercially, but also by investing in initiatives that enhance its capacity and its safety. The Ghanaian media occupies a very significant place in our national life. It has the potential to multiply our best efforts. It also has the potential to take us down south if we don't support it. It must not be left on its own to prod through the dark, hoping to find its way to the very top. It must be assisted and supported with the best of our technical and financial muscle to make excellence of global repute, the norm and not the exception. It is in our collective interest, state, private sector, development partners, civil society, to provide this assistance in a coordinated, focused, institutionalized, and nationwide manner if we are to make the desired impact. I want to welcome you once again, and I hope that we can collaborate and grow together in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister responsible for Information and Member of Parliament for Ofuase Ayirebi, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah. Ladies and gentlemen, shortly we will have the opportunity to further look at the scope, requirement, and impact of media support programs under the two key programs which was highlighted by the Honorable Minister, the Coordinated Mechanism for Safety of Journalists and the Media Capacity Enhancement Program. That will be done by the head of PPBME shortly. But before that, we want to take some brief remarks from the chairman of the National Media Commission, Mr. Yao Boedu Ayeboafo. After that, we'll also hear from the Ghana Journalists Association. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, the ambassadors, heads of other units who have been invited. I am very deficient in dealing with protocol matters. And so if you see that I am not doing what you expect me to do, forgive me. It is because I am incapable of stating it the way that it has to be stated. And most of the time, what I do is to gloss over that and focus on the statement that I want to make. I thank you for your understanding. Yeah, let me begin from you, because the minister alluded to what happened in the past and what happened eventually after we had this discourse and dialogue on how the Media Development Fund was supposed to be used. At the end of the day, we blamed ourselves also, including the GJA and the other partners, because indirectly, even as we wanted the fund to be sustainable and to be applied in some manner, we eventually took the laptops that were supplied. And so today, when people stand up and they want to look at it in derogatory terms, it means that we all must be smeared because we contributed indirectly to whether it was abuse of the use of the fund or whatever that it was. Because some of the laptops, they never functioned beyond a few days, but we collected them. And so we must all accept responsibility so that in looking forward, we must make our contributions such that at the end of the day, the effects that we want this thing to achieve will be achieved in very meaningful ways and not in ways that we move one step forward and two steps backward, but forward movement. I mean, just this morning I was having some discussion with a journalist, and he was asking me about how the media had covered the pandemic of the COVID. And I said that they have done very well, but one area that we had not performed is in the analysis of the data. Because sometimes we have been putting out the figures without relating it to anything. And so you say 1,000 people have died, so and so people have been affected, so and so, without linking it to human activity and human progress in ways that the ordinary person may see that the impact of that COVID is such. And that we need capacity in that area of data use. Because, you know, some of us fear mathematics. In fact, I mean, the best that we did was to get 7 or 8. And that was all that our association with mathematics. And we forgot about it. And even that we did it because if you don't pass mathematics, you cannot progress. Otherwise, some of us will have stopped doing mathematics even at Form 3 when we were selecting our subjects. But it has become very critical at this time that data is key to whatever that we do. And that is how the media capacity enhancement program, for instance, is very, very useful and very, very critical. And we need to support it in very, very functional ways. There may be some who may have that feeling that why is it that the Ministry of Information is leading? And is it not usurpation of the independence of the National Media Commission? We at the National Media Commission have taken this position that while we will not surrender our independence, we will not shun any collaboration that at the end of the day will be functionally beneficial to the interests of journalism in this country. And so for as long as we have offers that are intended to make the Ghanaian journalists better, we will support that initiative. And that is why we are here. And to restate the fact that the ministry is not working as an island. It is not working alone. We have been part of the processes. Yeah, but sometimes you need a phase of government to lead in the mobilization of resources. Because the National Media Commission, as a body, does not have its own money. Whatever resources that the Commission requires come from the states. And so if the ministry will use its facilities to help in garnering resources that will inure to the benefit of Ghanaian media, we think that we need to support it. We know that the coordinator mechanism on the safety of journalists, initially when it began, eventually that has been ceded to the National Media Commission. But how do we get the resources to carry out? And in fact, we had handled one case since we got that responsibility. The Kalem Kuda matter between national security and Kalem Kuda. It was handled under the coordinated mechanism on the safety of journalists. And the primary focus there is that when it comes to the safety of the journalists, we do not want to link it to the responsibility of the journalists. We think that if we want to look at the responsibility of the journalist before we look at the safety of the journalist, we'll be compromising on a number of things. And therefore, if it is about the safety of journalists, we think that the safety of the journalists must be secured at all times, irrespective of the conduct of the journalists. Because we are a country of the rule of law. And if we are looking at the rule of law, then we must understand that, because recently there was a matter in Koforidua where somebody was alleged to have broken the roofs of a shop and entered the shop. He stole. They caught him and they put a lot of things into his anus and he had to be hospitalized. The people who did that, they lost their property, and yet the state is prosecuting them for doing what they did, because what they did was unlawful. And that is the reason why we do not want people to be focusing on what is the responsibility of the journalists when matters of the safety and security of journalists come up, because we want to assure them of their security. And it is only after we have guaranteed their safety and security that we can ask them to be accountable and show responsibility. And so these are the means within which, and we want to restate the appeal of the minister that this is the time for us all to demonstrate that we want the media that we need, and that we require resources to train the journalists. Maybe sometimes people say that why do you empower your enemy so that your enemy can fight? Yeah, the question about the journalists, whether they are supportive or not supportive, is that the journalists cannot be against the interests of the people of this country. The interests of the people of this country may be diverse, and each one of us may be looking at some aspects of the interests of the people, but completely, no Ghanaian journalist can be against the total interest of the people of this country. And therefore, no journalist is an enemy to anybody. And when we equip them with the right skills that they need to do their work, they will do it, and the functional effect will be all ours. Because sometimes, some of our journalists have underperformed or misperformed, not necessarily because they want to create mischief, but because they lack the understanding and the appreciation of the issues that they are dealing with. Sometimes the environment and the context, because what we can say here may not be necessarily the same when we meet outside. Because the language that we may use outside may be different from the language that we need to use here. Yeah, but sometimes we forget ourselves. We are oblivious of the environment within which we are operating, and before you could say Jack, we have made a usage that is totally anathema to the context and the environment within which we are performing. We want to appeal to every one of us that who are capable, that the support can come in different ways. But if generally you want to see the Ghanaian media functionally performing the obligations that it has to perform, then we must be willing and ready enough to support it to get to that level. So on that note, Mr. Minister, and the ambassadors who are here, as well as representatives of organizations and all that, charity must begin at home. You know, sometimes when journalists meet at international levels, it is always that some international somebody is sponsoring them. Sometimes it is not good enough that we can only meet when an outsider is the reason why we are meeting. We must equally demonstrate that we are willing and ready and capable from contributing resources from within, so that when the outsider comes to support us, we know that we initiated it and the outsiders are supporting us. If at all times we depend on outsiders for whatever we want to do, the moment that the outsider withdraws, we will be helpless. And if you want to find an example, look at our trading situation. When the Lebanese, the Syrians, and the Indians go, we will see that there will be difficulty for us. And that is not what we want in terms of the capacity of our media. So let us all support in whatever way that we can so that we grow the media to meet the needs of the people of this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yabwedwa Ibuafo, Chairman of the National Media Commission. Shortly, we'll also want to take some brief remarks from the Ghana Journalists Association as we welcome Mr. Afamoni as he heads to the podium. We're live on Ghana Television and we're also live on our Facebook page. That's the Ministry of Information Facebook page. Just when the minister was wrapping up his address, we received the UNESCO representative to Ghana, His Excellency Abdulrahmani Diallo, who joined us. Please, if you're here, let's see you with a wave. Thank you very much for coming. And so right now, we will take brief remarks from the president of the GJA, Mr. Afamoni.
Honorable Minister of Information, U.S. Ambassador to Ghana, heads of media institutions, editors, colleague journalists, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all sprinkle a stardust of commendation on the Ministry of Information, headed by the dynamic young man, and other partners for these three initiatives to capacitate journalists and to protect them from unjustified attacks. Let me summon the weight of history to quote what the famous American publisher and editor, Mr. Pulitzer, said about 300 years ago. Pulitzer said, journalists are educated and not born. In those days, it was common to train journalists by osmosis or on the job. So this statement attracted a negative response from his colleagues. As a result, he was pelted with all kinds of verbal stones. Now, the challenges, the complexities, the limitations and expectations of the Ghanaian media vindicate the rectitude of this statement. The point can hardly be articulated that confidence in the media is on the wane and perpetration of mediocrity is on the rise. So these programs have come at the right time to help cure some of the chronic diseases in the Ghanaian media space. It is something we ought to grab with both hands as journalists so that we will serve media consumers better than we are doing now. On attacks against journalists, we recently witnessed what happened or what is happening to some of our colleagues. And such attacks headlined by the assassination in the most tragic circumstances of Ahmed Swale have the potential to exert a significant chilling effect on press freedom in Ghana. So we welcome this initiative to insulate journalists against attacks and will appeal that this initiative should be backed by education of journalists on safety. It is not enough to prosecute the perpetrators of attacks against journalists. Journalists ought to be trained in safety so that they will avoid places where their safety will be compromised. Once again, I thank the ministry and the partners for this wonderful initiative, and I appeal once again go to the media community. Please maximize the opportunity to capacitate yourselves and serve media consumers better than you are doing now. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Afemoni, President of the Ghana Journalists Association. Ladies and gentlemen, shortly we will have an open forum where all participants and representatives will be given the opportunity to share their thoughts on these programs and how to fund it during the open forum segment. So that will be coming up shortly. But right now, I'd like to introduce Mr. Mauli Segbefia. He's the head of PPBME Directorate at the Ministry of Information. And he's here to give us a presentation on the scope, requirement, and impact of media support programs for the two key programs, which is the Coordinated Mechanism for the Safety of Journalists and the Media Capacity Enhancement Program. Please, a round of applause for him.
Good morning, Honorable Minister and a Member of Parliament for Ofuasi Ayuebi, Your Excellencies and members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Communications, country directors, heads of delegations, program managers, chairpersons, rectors and deans, media coalition members, ladies and gentlemen. My presentation will focus on these areas. We will look at the background to our interventions, the objectives we are seeking to achieve. We will give a brief description of each of the programs. We will look at the scope of the program and those they are targeting to address their issues. We will also look at some expected results that we hope to achieve at the end of the implementation of the programs. And then we'll share with you status of implementation and some challenges we have faced in the course of implementation of those programs. And then also we'll share with you a framework we are developing, which is pretty much work in progress, that we hope will help us track progress of what we are implementing. Now, I don't want to belabor this point. Minister and the other speakers have spoken broadly about the significance of the media, but I just want us to go through some of them. We all know that the media play significant roles in our society. They help sustain functioning democracies. They educate. They also help disseminate news. They are for advocacy purposes. They also entertain us. They also have the potential for human development. They empower our citizens with information to make informed choices. But more importantly, the media can also facilitate the perpetration of crime, and this point has already been made, so I won't belabor the point. Now, as a country, we have chalked some milestones in terms of preparing the grounds for the flourishing of media practice in Ghana, particularly the Constitution of Ghana 1992. If you look at Article 21(1)(a) of our Constitution, it makes freedom of the press and free speech very important. If you look at chapter 12, of our Constitution, that whole chapter is devoted to the freedom and liberty of the press. We also have in our Constitution established the National Media Commission. That is to ensure that the media is properly regulated, is to ensure that it is protected and projected. We have also repealed the criminal libel law. Those of us who saw what happened under the law, many journalists were incarcerated under this law, but it's been repealed now. We have also passed recently the RTR law, which is also expected to help media practice in Ghana. Now, as a result of all of that we have done as a nation, we have seen what we call media explosion. If you look at data on the NCA website as at the first quarter of 2020, it tells us clearly that We have authorized 575 FM stations to operate across the country. We also have 146 TV stations that are dotted across the country. There are dozens of newspapers. We are told that in 2019, 39% of Ghanaians access the internet. And then blogging and social networking have also increased in urban centers. So the question is, what is really the problem now? With all this explosion of media all over the place, we have fought for it. Before 1992, we had just a few radio stations, but now we have so many of them. So what is really the problem? Now, we have noticed that there are some problems that have militated against the progress of the media. The minister spoke extensively about that, but I'll restrict myself to those that are responding, those that we have developed programs to respond to. We have noticed issues to do with capacity and professionalism. We've also noted that some of the journalists face attacks and impunity that goes without. Now, a 2019 Afrobarometer report indicates that falling standards in professionalism have resulted in waning public trust and confidence in the media and press freedom. Also, according to UNESCO, between 2016 and 2017, close to 1,010 journalists were killed worldwide. This is worldwide. On average, that represents one death for 4 days. In 4 days, sorry. And then in many cases, the killers go unpunished. 9 out of 10 cases, the killers go unpunished. Now, in Ghana, the Media Foundation for West Africa also reported that between 2014 and 2018, Ghana recorded 71 violations. Then there were also 71 violations against the media, out of which only one has been redressed. 22 violations were also recorded against journalists and media professional organizations from February 2018 to March 2019. And this includes the murder of Ahmed Swale, what the president of GGA just spoke about. Now, in responding to the issues we have identified, government initiated these programs, the Media Capacity Enhancement Program, as well as a coordinated mechanism for the safety of journalists. Now, some of the key objectives we expect to achieve under the programs include, first of all, they are to position the media to play their watchdog role effectively. Now, if you look at the individual programs, under the Media Capacity Enhancement Program, we have identified some specific objectives that we want to achieve. We want to achieve professionalism in the conduct of both media personnel and media houses. We also want them to hold duty bearers to account. We also want the media to specialize in areas such as education, health, sports, etc., for deeper understanding. Under the coordinated mechanism for the safety of journalists, we also want to create a safe and a conducive environment for the practice of journalism. We want to prevent violence against journalists. We want to protect journalists in danger. We also want to prosecute perpetrators when they attack journalists. Now, this is just a brief description of each of the programs. As we already know, the capacity enhancement programs, it seeks to address the capacity challenges that face the media. It is intended to provide a series of trainings for media professionals through a faculty using a structured curriculum developed from an in-depth analysis of the skills gaps in the media space. And here I want to stress the point that this whole thing of training for the media has been done by the media professionals themselves, the academia, the civil societies. So they have identified these gaps, and they are going ahead to identify faculties or institutions that can provide the training to bridge the gap. The faculties will be tasked to provide periodic training for media practitioners, what we call the in-service training, at a fee. The point has to be made that it is not a substitute for the training of journalists by media institutions. We want to make this point very clear. Under the coordinated mechanism for the safety of journalists, the approach is a multi-stakeholder approach involving all the actors to comprehensively address the 3 Ps, what we call preventing violence against journalists, protect journalists in danger, and also prosecute the perpetrators. Now, the actors are expected to handle all cases of complaints by the journalists. The actors are known. The Office of the Coordinated Mechanism on the Safety of Journalists has been established for this purpose, as Minister alluded to earlier on. Key to the operation of the office is the development of a framework for use by members of the multi-stakeholder committee and an online application system. Now, our initiatives have some target groups and scope. Essentially, we want to target our journalists, our reporters, our correspondents, commentators. We are also targeting owners of media organizations. We are looking at production teams, directors, social media executives. We are also targeting anchors, editors, and program directors. So these are the people we expect to target. We are also expecting some results when we implement them fully. Under the Media Capacity Enhancement Program, we want to provide continuous on-the-job training at regular intervals for the over 900 members of GJE and other media practitioners to improve their skills. We want to support training targeted at content creation for media practitioners. We are also looking at providing a regular platform to support media introspection on subjects related to media and media management, corporate governance, and media business models. We want to encourage ethical journalism through our program. We want to also support the media practitioners to undertake specialized training, as I've already alluded to. Now, under the coordinated mechanism, we want to establish the coordinated framework. This is a framework that is supposed to help all the actors to play a role in addressing the attacks of the journalists. We also want to establish build and install an online application system where a journalist who is aggrieved doesn't have to travel all the way to Accra to lodge a complaint. With the app, wherever you find yourself, you can lodge a complaint. We also want to prevent and quickly respond to attacks on journalists. So these are some of the expected results of both programs. Now, as has been said already, we've started rolling out the implementation of these programs. When we started, we identified some key activities under each program, and we started implementing some. So this is a slide that tells us what we have done so far and where we are. Under the Media Capacity Enhancement Program, the activities outlined are the key ones we have identified. As you can see in the last column, we have the outcome and challenges. Many of them have not been done, essentially because of lack of funding. So a key activity such as the official launch of the Capacity Enhancement Program is still outstanding because of funding issues. We haven't been able to select successful applicants. Under the coordinator mechanism, we've also identified some key activities and their status. And again, you can see that many of them are ongoing. Some have not been done, essentially because we haven't been able to gather the resources needed for us to move forward. This is the M&A tool that we have developed. It is pretty much work in progress. It is just to give us an idea that the program has also designed a tool for tracking the performance of each of our programs. So if you take the Capacity Enhancement Program, for example, what we want to be able to achieve is to identify a certain outcome or output, and then identify an indicator that we could measure, and then a baseline, and be able to set our targets. So far, we've been able to identify the output and indicator description. We have not been able to populate the rest, but we believe that in the course of the program, and with your assistance, we can finalize the two. Under this program, for example, please go back. Under this program, for example, this is for safety of journalists, yes. We want to be able to measure a number of percentage of media professionals that have been trained as a result of our intervention. We want to be able to measure the frequency of violation of media ethics across the media, because once people are reporting to NMC, for example, of the bad conduct of our journalists, then we can tell that our intervention is making the impact or not. We also want to be able to identify fake news and misinformation. Our intervention should be able to address some of these issues, and therefore, if they keep coming up, it tells us that our intervention is not responding, and therefore we need to adjust our intervention to respond to some of these things. We also want to be able to measure a number of specialized journalists, because we are encouraging them to specialize in their various fields. And then we want to be able to measure a number of media complaints made to NMC. Under the this is for capacity enhancement program, yes. No, this is rather for safety of journalists, sorry. No, so the framework or the tool, the M&A tool we are developing for tracking the implementation of the safety of journalists, essentially is the same as the one we just looked at, so I won't belabor it. In conclusion, Your Excellencies, these are key initiatives of government to ensure that the media is properly positioned to continue to uphold our democracy. Government, therefore, requires all the necessary support from stakeholders to ensure their sustainability. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maoli Segbefia. Ladies and gentlemen, please pardon us because the Information Minister will want to provide some clarity on a section of the presentation. So, Honorable Minister, you can please go ahead. Can we get a microphone on? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Segbefia. Just to make the point that there's a question about, so what is the role of government in this, and what is the role of the other partners in this? Right from the top, it must be said clearly that the role of government is not to be the one providing training or operating the coordinated mechanism for the safety. No. The job of training, or what goes into the curriculum for training, is what has been done by academia and the leadership of the media groups themselves. The challenge is to be able to get broad-based funding to support that kind of training so that across the country people can apply for and participate in these training programs. The role of government is to facilitate the mobilization and coordination of the technical and financial resources that will help them to do their work. So we need to be very clear about it. The role of government is to facilitate the mobilization and coordination of the technical and financial resources that will help this working group to do their work. They determine what gaps exist, what curriculum, and how they would execute their own training programs. But what we are doing is to bring everybody's attention to the point that we have to help them to help our colleagues in the industry. The mobilization and coordination is also being spearheaded, or will be spearheaded, by a 3-member working group that comprises a representative of academia itself, industry itself, and then civil society. So they will be doing the follow-ups to ensure that we're able to crowd in as much technical and financial resources to support the work that the working group is doing. Our job is to wave the flag, draw the attention, make the noise, let everybody know that this is something that all of us must support so that it succeeds. Same applies to the coordinated mechanism for the safety of journalists. Our job is to draw attention, wave the flag, make the noise that it requires your collective support, so that that support, as is mobilized by this 3-member working group, goes towards the work that the NMC is supposed to be doing in this area. The NMC has done a lot of good preparatory work, but they are limited in their ability. So government is supporting, but we believe that all other partners must be encouraged to support so that we see the success of these programs. I just thought it's important to provide this clarity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for information. Ladies and gentlemen, shortly we'll begin our open forum, which will be a closed-door session. And so we would want to take some few minutes break just to allow our colleagues from the press to make their way out so that then we can have our open forum segment where every participant will have the opportunity to make comments and ask questions, and I'm sure responses will be provided to those questions. Just to also acknowledge the presence of the Vice President of the Institute of Public Relations, Mr. Henry Ni-Dote, who has also joined us. Thank you very much for your time. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this note, we will take a short break, some 10 minutes. 10 minutes, grab a coffee, a tea, or...
I and the body I represent, the Alliance for Christian Advocacy Africa, want to wish GhanaWeb, the management team, very well. They came at the right time and they have served a purpose. When my story appeared on GhanaWeb, I found that other media houses that have not interviewed me, that have not called me, they still have the story on their website, media platforms, and I know that even if they don't acknowledge, I know they pick it from GhanaWeb. So they have served the media needs, or they've made significant contribution to media needs in Ghana. We wish them a very good future, but we pray that they will also need be find a way of reducing the hurt that people are going through, because it seems to me people who receive some kind of abusive feel hurt, but they may still want to go to GhanaWeb because of its uniqueness. We wish them a very fruitful years in the coming years and days ahead of us.
While he acknowledges the support he receives from Ghanaians, Sarkodie wishes his countrymen would hold on to moments and cherish them. This wish, together with his posture in that interview with the Nigerian presenter, have been described problematic by some Ghanaians. We table these for a riveting discussion. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantepa, and this is Bloggers Forum on GhanaWeb TV. Thanks for joining us. It's Bloggers Forum on GhanaWeb TV. The show is sponsored by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has what you want, from juicy smoothies, jollof, fried rice, spag, and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you the McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get small size of pizza, fries, and chicken, one cola drink at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesdays at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. And also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza branches every Friday. Call 026-4133-397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. And I've been joined by Nene B. Nene B is a columnist. Nene, Kwaba. Everything cool?
Everything cool, everything crispy and ivory.
All right. Nana Aredu is with oneplayafrica.com. Nana, Akwaba.
Oh, me just Abrante.
You be fine.
Oh, Nyamiadom say, yeah, cherish amount for there. So much cherish me our platform.
Oh, so the cherish when I see your fans, it seems you are not interested in the fans, but your fans is Okay, so Amabroni is on standby with tidbits. We call it Nkomo.
Na watch my son so asel man mama broni nkomo course entertainment industry na na me do abebrom na already e chenda e betie bi afisa akode Empress Gift patapa na nwa akeka nyina ne ntem ne de do so ankasa nti bude mama yentwa ehu sesi a na yenkombra na mfa na ekonyina embeson na say yeshe nkomo ya si amafu se eye sa akode an obede pombede nsem bi ode atudwa na ye na watwi ma wosi anko yi ankasa sa akode se de o African to okọ Nigeria se de ode ni a chere Kenya na okọ Nigeria na interview mu na presenter ne ka so sa akode asa Ghana fo se mehwe be a wo a se na Nigeria ha ye support yen artist asa wo krom ho de won hye dan support se nyema bebrebe a wo ye BET ni se na wo promote Ghana ni the whole of Africa echo outside country ne asa won hye dan en cherish us na sakode so minua asema aka me ba be kan aka me na me kokan aka obeka se manka ni asem no kwaya na waka krom ha se eye Ghana fo omo cherish moment obetumi akwa wini award bi obesen besi na ase de atwem na won ka ho asem na fe de wo ye ho to say yi sakode en be bo bra bia ye no se asem ne de ye sa Ghana fo mo nche dan cherish moment sakode ni sem betu dana mo fizero sakode we sha ye hu se we ungrateful waka krom ha se ye ba Ghana ha se artist ankofo support je se wudin ahita wo baby a wo gbowunwum se wudi abo yi betu dwa mu no pressure DJs bo krom ha se Twitter nyina wo jije bo ujije wuso na video be ka se Ghana fo won sha dan cherish moment wo se wan ka ne ye eye Ola Michael eye entertainment presenter ono so de na anu atmoche ma sakode na wo kan de wan ka ne ko bebre atutu bia ma no wo se sakode wo na wo ka sa asem se ye cherish moment den bio na sakode wo pese ye wo sesi na sakode yinsu sanso koye interview bi wo One Play Africa no den sem bi tutu dwa chema Ghana fo bi wo hono ma still mo accept mo appreciate eye modern bob wo krom ha sei e na odi tu mi chema ono se krom ha sei so bi am bone trumpet ono asakode be bone trumpet ko so nim nia oye quality of music odi tu dwa nti ono don take any endorsement from onipa bi a o onim ni oye no nkofo nso awodo no nsu nti mo be ka sei bi a mo support na mo ka sei na wa ye se o se ot but on fanye adwuma na say to also a gospel musician Empress Gift no den sem bia to jo chema Ghana fo merma mu bi ha mu nye romantic o se aden a mu so mu bi no mu so bia no fum na se mu yi pese mu play romance akra o se mu twi no fu no te sa ahwere mu twi ni gregre o se ye den asem enye sugar cane unye obia na se bia ba no fu no sem a na wato obo ase na wa ya man nti o se sa so ba ne de mu nja nto na audience mi be to dwa ye video no ankasa ni Instagram live no audience mi to dwa na ma fo se Empress Gift na kwaso musician de anka nkofo nufu hu nsem de anka fa ho bembe fa no ho pa ono so oyobia mian boy ntumi nka enti Gift ala be come de na waka nsem no eye Gift e de atudwa nto chema Ghana fo merima munye romantic aka osanso we no de enkai boy sanso koma me o chema se okunu hu ka fo bana sa wa bre we fi adwuma obia na nso bo ho modern na support ne na romance ne kakra kasa ye de chen na ono aka so obe sorry man na opebia wonsa be kan Empress Gift
what said ya to me fair nufuo ni ya de nufuo ato eyi ensem ni abone bede asa de di koko eti abone say pakam adenti na ne Christopher a ya wade a yete awade ho ye de atete kwa asam ehye ye ho saa ene Christopher a yete awade ho enije bia nim because ya ye ho holy go tama wo kunu kura be se wo se wo pew e wo se wo orgasm wenufu wo nipple no tumi solid na so ne da bi o e ho na akobo tons tara baba ho nye prayer camp empa no so no enye prayer camp enye ho na wo koje wo mpa ye wo ho sister forget it e ho no na orgasm to orgasm eye etuma. When was the last time I wore ba utumi ka se enne de me initiate sex emene sex na wura? When was the last time?
Mafo mo be kaya eye patapa okochi stray bullets be o mekwa eye amrado eno bibi no mu bifia na ekosi na eyi amrado na kacho bibi ni se ni nyuma nche ayaka we se patapa hit songs obetuma bosa na etwem na patapa kan no se wo amrado hwe hu ye pa wo na nsen ya wo bai o se corona artist lockdown artist ya bai wo be kan ho ase mo no hit songs scopa to mana just one corner wo sa eyi level na we do international level na we do wo amrado kan wo kan wo nti asem de hu se ye patapa ya nkasa o ya wo na nkasa na ye na ya amrado akọ interview no dia atoje so patapa we dey senior man break brother fachem e wo mu say na ye beef na fast ye release nyum no wan tena se andwen ho say asem na okan na etia unti se de amrado si patapa opa chofa ne boni chen man for Chaupaye Binaye Elekim Kumoji, Ghanaian actor, Elekim the Taylor Ain, or the commanding former wife, Pokelu, Ubekaya, man for Okoshia, or a Big Brother Africa, or Dodo, say Guri, worry and our worry. 2015, Kralikim the two just say, buy price or Chia answer no worry Pokelu, $25,000, Nebi woman, Kasa in 2015 or this semi betuja. Now, a lady Odini birthday na watching na messenger a year Elekim medical man or Chemosi. Never be a honor and a yao pan say or Bill Sumbusi say Pokelu went to me holding it down. Ochema sama otama wawari kwa no sir 26 27 no sir no ordinary hwese na eyi awari mu kwa wonya baba akọ hwese na ye lady aboa ne bai wa hwe ne nyina oda na se woni awaya ama ne but ose Pokelu fane bone chene se want to me hold you down nti alekim nsem odi abetudwa na na me de abrem ma so mbeka say last year ye krapin polo ne ho ko ba asem ye ne bari birthday okopost ye on ni naked pictures bi our dragon court 90-day jail term later o man ye 100,000 bill ni nyina achi krapin polo beka say they were repenting I nudity o say na yo post videos ni sa pictures no yi no ni na wejai nti o san say oye campaign bi tell catch celebrities say they won't dress ye na mafu say na ka enim say sa nyema no ye nyina echi ni say de ye ntene nka biom so kwali polo na wa ba na wa beto eke kakra we de wo say wan hye de yi ni hu kakra we de no hye na atare na wa to eke amanti woni hu video ni a na wa kɔ ni page na wa kɔ hwe bi say bo ransom fufu mu a ye gospel musician I Joyce Blessing odin sim bia to o say ni followers am follow na de bia mu say ada na Joyce na say ye tim hu sembo ni sa no o chema say de mu kɔ online na say mu tin hu sembo ni bia mu bomode na mu hwehwe mu cause e to de bo nyema na wo kafa no ho na enyampa o so nu mu ankasa otumi kɔ reading bia wo se ono no Joyce aye no dwum se tambe na me yes adi o se ni na nyampa kofu na wa hye da hye sumas na opese wo brand career asenti opamo chopa se mutene hu sembo ni bia haya mu hwehwe mu ansa na makasa se de Joyce de we je nsem wanza fufu muzo na watwe mu ya na eye Comerwood actor aye jamenu wokosie no na eyi nsem hu na epie chi ni se eye adaka wodidan wo mu one design na as a camera Canon camera bi na ni picture tare nchen na fantasy coffin dem weba chrome ha se hunim se bebre chrome ha bi mo hono ma se wo ba na se wo ye fisherman wo ti ase na se wo ye doctor wo ti ase na se wo bonwuma ebibu ase wo wa wo abomoden afuna daka no wo shape no eyi tare boncha ka mo beka ni de ase microphone bi ko bebre aya sa na wo ye wonde na eno na nkofo se we de ma kire man kasa wa camera bia we designer wo de ejamenu tum na eyi na se nkofo bebre ba eye Wood actors baby brele when nom atrebu akofo bebre by na wose we de mabo modern say mosie mu nwe kama amafokom ha ye wo hide unim say 1 2 bia na air prophet one dey aba say when your prophecy afa we hu we yakoye say yakopon ba be yesi ama we na Shatawale na ye eagle prophet odin say me abetu ndwa so Shatawale say na ne brand netin enes huhum bia back no e be ye dem pass mo bebre na so o say Shatawale wa wo hwe say na hit songs I influence o krom ha say zwa mo ka say Shatawale ba betwem na ne ochina cause o hwe mu a prophecy bia we nya afa ne ho ne say Shatawale na owo ahuhum bia bo ne ho ba no ande wan kire say yakopon huhumu say ye kire huhum ni bia but eagle prophet say Shatawale de enye na ne ochine bi oba be brasin ti mo amudi achi na mo support SM boss am hwe say oba brasin o say enye nsi to aso de eye backing vocalist atiati na I daddy number bre ono ana wa backing pony riding mama me feel me baby riding ma wa munim mu di anyama ono ana backing eye bubra ahemfo chine number bre lady ya backing no say amafo keka say on daddy number chempna o say na ekwedi impna twibe mu atiati enye sa na eye dwuma no ne koye ono kwa mbodo say satam kwa no so young girl ne sa ade ni de anim nti wapamo chopa ono ko ya bawarifu nti on daddy lumba antwempne bia nti osere ma munyi sa asem na mfi menu amafo de ngoma ya dusu de me nje da hu so na me start ba o de me chemu eye Queen Fakadi Ghana ha say woba hook up queen o ma bia woton one body ni skadia unim say Fakadi de we jetum ono anka say jatum say all your prostitution yibi on the merry mother or charge won ono so linking ma bebre ene de say ni san common de anka ntin kogu eye Fakadi na wakakoye interview bi with GhanaWeb TV recent one ene o de achemu so ono mu kai Fakadi de that 10 times tun say de huna sister ya ye kwakwa ankasa ochema ne nti opon ho se merima wo krom ha sei wo the attention bebre e ma ye ma akoko ai ho se mo munim e na ba akoko de oda wo nchen a hu se obeso light sansem yi ya mo keka kenya e na ge yi kaso merima wo krom ha sei so wo ye ba na so wo ye light kwakwa remember attention about so penalty and a coupon who no coupon who's adding on your client in the Fakadi Akochema no de Nantia or Ras had Jumenimon a scantia the Queen Fakadi near to George Chema a young Marco or more price pan essing to him by many yardum cover brains on an yardry Martin to me once since AJ Yadi and Casanti Moon see Fakadi Namokas Mokopom who saddened there and Munja saddened. Aya Nigeria news ni training Jim Ike ono no so na wabo eye Stone Boy abaso ochema Stone Boy otie no an o follow no ne nsem bia kekakeka o se na adwin mu dranka o se nipa no wo nyansa se nani je no hododo eye nse bibia o ni KSM ye no ochema sa eyi artist eye Ghana ni artist eye dance or musician Stone Boy aye bim native boss ochema o kasa hu se very beni o kasa nyansa wo mu nse Jim Ike se o kan nipa o no ankasa wo kasa hu se eto asum nyansa Sawoma or the Stone Boy Ebekau. And I say sorry, so the only may I say COVID-19 year bay, the best saying artists who complain, say no one to me Bosho, what were you seeing now? You're affecting Kububi. Now I said they don't say restrictions, so easy kaka, and say artists who Bosho kaka. Now recently na Kumasi and Jackie or Koye show be man for Chema for buy performance in this also Jackie will born home or there. So answer I am Macasio and Tamale or no so Kosali out a year Aliu Muhammad Sports Stadium. You show your Koye Mambuse. Now ye come na ye kan artist awo bon homoden eye wiala an ono se o Germany ono so ye tobi o se ye ni show no ye na no so ekoso ankasa nti se ye kan ne se munyina mu bo shows ye bom abaso ye bom abaso se mu se nyema mu ye de ba mu bom homoden nti na wo hwe ma bro no se komo ekoso entertainment industry na e na ma bo no amede besom da se ne ye course bi a mesanso e de bebrem abrantipa unu abegya fo mu nsom na monto asomai.
Thanks, Amabroni, for the segment. For more of these stories, visit our website, www.GhanaWeb.com. I want to start with Nenebi on this, but knowing who he is, I am tempted to believe he would want to touch on the breast issue. He should prove me wrong. Nene.
You see, the point is, you know what? I want to prove you wrong. I want to read.
Are you sure you want to prove me wrong? Yo, oh dear.
You see, the point is, there is an association in Ghana called Breast Love Association of Ghana.
And you are the president.
And so I can't run away from my responsibilities as the president of BRELA.
I told you.
You understand?
Continue. You see that Nigerian woman video that has gone viral. There's a certain video using this comedy short films and all that. You see the woman, you say, okay, continue. Continue.
I thought it's a video that would be of interest to me.
Oh, no.
Before you said it, I thought it's a video that would be of interest to me.
You thought the woman had
something else of because there are two things I care about in this world. This what I care about freedom of speech and press. Those are the two most important things to me as human beings.
I told you.
Yeah. So what the woman of God, Empress Gifty, is talking about is something that in October I have a book coming out. The title of the book is Everything That Happened and the People Who Made It. It's about the top 10 most influential entertainment brands in Ghana in the past decade. And in the introduction, I discussed I shared a story. I want to read a portion of that story to buttress a point. So it starts. My body has other parts, she said as I ogled her boobs intensively while starry-eyed. It was my first time seeing her in her full nude glory since we started dating. It was also my second time with a girl. But she must not know that. In order to conceal my innocence, I thought I should act with confidence. By confidence, I mean macho. I tried to trace my fingertips from under her collarbone down to her breast, then circle her areola a few rounds, and then I kneaded them aggressively. You don't press it like you are kneading dough. Relax. What you are doing is intense music. Has she figured that this is my second time? Am I such a novice and it's so obvious? What you are doing is rushing through foreplay so that you can penetrate. Most men do that. Thank God I made a manly mistake. they forget. Okay, it's okay. The point that I read that portion of the story is that story illustrates something which is a common problem men face.
Which is?
Men treats the woman's breast like it's not a delicate part of the human body. They treat it like it is brodo. What fitting they said, yeah, fitting more. I'm not supposed to treat it like that. And this actually something that happened like 10 years ago when I was not 10 years ago, but some years ago. When
you were a novice.
When I was a novice,
okay.
I didn't know how to. But fortunately for me, this lady I was with was an older woman who was confident and so told me that my little brother, you are doing this wrong. You are supposed to be delicate with it. And now, to the glory of God, I see the wisdom in what the woman of God, Empress Gifty, is talking about. You understand? Men need to treat women's breasts like it's a delicate organ. You understand? Mamo reno, the sacred here. Mamo fitino, the same brodomore. You understand? You understand? That's what I want to say.
For some reason, I wanted you to demonstrate how you handle it, but it's okay. Let's leave that for Moons and Cuddles. Nana, I know Nana will definitely go the music way. Let me hear you. And I also become breast no answer. Oh no, Nana go on. Nana,
two things.
Okay.
I think Amrado shouldn't have apologized to Patapa. He shouldn't. In music, it happens. Out of the thing, Patapa has dropped what people are tagging the song to be one of his best records yet. And you know, apologizing to him is like you intentionally said what you said to dilute or cause a stain or ridicule his brand. And I don't think that was your idea. I think that it was wordplay, and that particular thing, you're not the first person to have said it, and it feels like it fits what you were trying to say too.
But it's a battle. Wordplay, but the person that the thing is about is not happy about it.
Yeah, but who says Eminem says things and people are happy? Eminem says things and he's always in trouble.
Maybe that's because he wanted to maintain a cordial relationship with Patapa, he needed to do that.
Patapa himself was tapping into a hype, a conversation that he knows will probably help him. Listen, at a time where Patapa dropped a song with Stoneboy, Ghanaians didn't talk about the song. At the time where he even had a song, I mean, Article 1, and this is like an opportunity for him to let people know that, listen, I also do good music. So why are you coming to apologize to destroy Patapa's hype that he's building for the song with Wenishe?
Okay, so I get your argument. Okay, I get it.
Patapa, I'm sorry for saying that. And you haters now.
Yeah, I get it.
I think he shouldn't have apologized. He should come back and apologize to Patapa
for apologizing.
For apologizing to destroy his hype. Second thing is Jackie.
Yeah, definitely.
This event or this thing is not the first to happen in Ghana. Efia has done it. Nanaya has done it. Raquel has done it. I mean, a lot of Becca has done it with Becca Girl Talk for almost 10 years. And yet the first. But the lack of memory, the lack of appreciating moments and keeping it as it's supposed to be and not referencing it to any other thing is what I am praying for. What can I say, make a platform used to say? If Jackie drops a song after this big breakthrough, not say Anya as big as forever, she shouldn't be disturbed. So okay, they can play the tape.
Yeah.
Because I know how our people think. And I know the kind of words people say. Ghanaians want always to be exonerated. That see a kind. See, I'm not say obi tweet a free a yaba. Maybe maybe I saw
Kenya.
Yeah, I've seen that. And Ghanaians feel like, they have been like Ghanaians feel like, yes, I can say Sakwa yes, supporting. That's what I don't want it to. I don't want to happen to the small girl. Kumasi so na why no actually be another artist being free different country any show. You can say Ghana has said obi anya show say that you get it at the point that Ghanaians were even bold to compare Jackie to Efia and Becca. So tell you how our thinking is. But I want to say big up to the team on my idea to pulling it off in Kumasi. They've done well. Congrats to them. Ghanaians should hold it as Kumasi form so say Omo Baba Ketwa once upon a time pulled up a show in Kumasi at Ijinaho. What am I saying? This almost some sana obi can almost someone from one pan say hey what am I saying? Ade amu can say ebia asem say o free Kenya o free Tanzania o free Cameroon ayeno. Yes, yeah, but I can ebida. What am I saying? That's how it's supposed to be.
On that note, we'll take a break. When we return, we delve into the conversation. We have two things that we want to place emphasis on as far as the discussion is concerned. Sarkodie's store of Africa. He's been to Nigeria, he's been to Kenya. Before that, he did a media tour in Ghana. In fact, we've discussed his album. So that's one. He has passed a comment there that he wishes that Ghana moment. He acknowledges the support though, but he wants us to cherish the moments. So this is something that has been has elicited reactions. Some say it's good, others say it's a sign of ingratitude. Well, it's Bloggers Forum on GhanaWeb TV. Don't go away.
Hi, my name is Nanama McBrown. I'm proud to be part of GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign. Please, do the right thing. Save a life. Brim.
Welcome back. It's Bloggers Forum on GhanaWeb TV. So we are discussing Sarkodie's statement that Ghanaians do not cherish moments. He did an interview when he went to Nigeria. He was on Beat FM, and that conversation came up.
Of your music and everything. So a whole lot has been happening as regards your sound, you and a whole lot of people. I think you still do not get enough credits, you know, as you're supposed to. I don't know if it's the way the Ghanaian music industry is structured or set up, or maybe generally people just you know how maybe when you sing too much of somebody, just be like, okay, yeah, he's him, we know him, he will always put out fire music, and they just tend to just move on. You know, from the BETs to the things you've done, especially putting the Ghanaian music industry on the map, I don't think you get credit enough. Because when you look at the way Nigerians actually celebrate their own, and, you know, when there is a David or there's a Wiz, or, you know, I look at Ghana, and most times it's, oh, Sarkodie, and it's just, yeah. So why do you think that is?
You said, I'm looking at you just crazy. I think for like the past week or something, I was on the media tour and I had a conversation like that. Sometimes it's a sensitive conversation when I'm involved speaking about myself. So when I hear it from you, you saying it. Now I need this clip to trend. What you just said right now, I just need it right now. Because when I say it,
I'll not be banned from Ghana. Problem.
It's kind of like dicey when it's me coming from me, right? Because you have people, you have friends, and then they don't want to feel a certain kind of way. But what you said, I think I could say I do get my support from Ghanaians. Yeah. Just that I know what you're trying to say. Like they should really hold on to moments and cherish it.
Yeah, because I'm like, you know, the songs with Ace Hood, and when you talk about, you know, the music industry in Ghana, you are one of the very few artists who's pushing it outside Ghana. Yeah, so I just want to play a clip, you know, from an interview that I you know, found the other day. Can you just hear me hit that?
Stoneboy is doing a lot that you guys should be like 24/7 highlighting. Like I was saying to say in TV that. That's what these guys are all doing. And I'm also what they are doing. You know, I remember when BET was posting Burna Boy selling out the Apollo. He said the first half will be the artist. You see, because we don't hold on to it. I did it before him.
So that's huge. That's like crazy. You know, for you, a Ghanaian artist, to sell out the Apollo, and it took me, you know, radio presenter, doing my research, and okay, I have Sarkodie on my show. Let me just before talk about, and I'm like, okay, he did it, and it's almost like we don't hear these.
We don't hear. We don't just.
It's almost like
through
it's not happening or anything. So I feel like we recognize how talented you are. You know what you're doing, especially not just for Ghanaian music, what you're doing for African music as well. And I think that our Ghanaian brothers and sisters, man, it's almost like they don't know what they have, and they should actually just show you so much love, man.
This minute,
yeah,
you're trying to get me speechless.
Why?
Basically, because everything I want to say is what you're saying.
Okay.
So I have literally nothing to say.
Okay. So interview over.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So yes, I think I genuinely think as an African, so when Bernard wins, it affects Africa.
Yes.
If you're African, that's when you can say, oh, you're from Angola, you're from here. But people from outside, they see all of us as Afrobeat and what we represent.
Right, so that's Sarkodie there. That's his assessment of our industry. Let me begin with Nene B. What does it mean when we say hold on to a moment or cherish a moment?
As somebody who hardly hold on to moments, I don't know what that means. Because when the moment is over, it's over for me. But on a more serious note, I think I understand where Sarkodie is coming from. Even though I don't completely buy into his wording per se. You understand? I understand where he's coming from. You see, moments becomes memories, right? And the people who cherish memories are people to whom that moment meant something. You understand? So obviously, let me give this football example. When Asamoah in 2015 set a record as the first footballer in the world to score in 8 consecutive international competitions, cricket, nobody talked about it anywhere in the world. And the entertainment journalists in Ghana didn't talk about it. In 2018...
No, you mean they did not talk about it the way you expected?
They didn't talk about it. They didn't talk about it.
Really?
Yes. In 2018, when Cristiano Ronaldo equaled Asamoah's record and became the second footballer in the world to score in 8 consecutive international competitions, Ronaldo fans started talking about it and calling Ronaldo the first footballer in the world to do that. That is when Ghanaians started complaining that no, he's not the first person to do that, and a Ghanaian had done that before. You understand? And it became a conversation. So now in 2009, Asamoah went on to become the first footballer to do it 9 times. And then, what was the name? Ronaldo equaled it. Ronaldo equaled it, that became the conversation. The fact that Ronaldo has equaled it the 9 times, blah, 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 blah. Because people who support Ronaldo are more vested in records. Ronaldo fans, they wake up in the morning and look for records for Ronaldo to set. Ronaldo can wake up in the morning, maybe the first people are to brush his hair on the right. You understand? So movements mean something to them. That's why they cherish it. You understand? For I don't know whether it's a Ghanaian thing or I don't know whether it's a Ghanaian thing or it's an individual thing, because movements don't seem to be cherished in Ghana, apart from weddings and funerals. The only thing people cherish in Ghana are weddings and funerals. Outside of weddings and funerals, nobody gives a damn about anything else. You understand? But the people to whom, when your friend is saying, if you want people to cherish your moments, you make them. You understand? Ronaldo's team makes sure people cherish his moments. That's why people talk about it.
Okay.
I don't think Asamoah has a team who go out and propagates his gospel the way Ronaldo has that team that does that. So I think the problem was, for example, the example Sarkodie used about being the first African Apollo thing. Yeah. You know, it was talked about in Ghana. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, it was.
It was a big deal in Ghana.
It was.
Yes, it even became a debate when
Achiame said,
they were the first to do it and all that. So that moment was a big moment, and Ghanaians cherished it. So Sarkodie can say Ghanaians don't cherish moments. They cherish that moment in particular, and people still hold on to that moment. People still bring up Apollo in conversations in Ghana about who's the biggest rapper of all time. So maybe Sarkodie is up to something, but the example he used and his choice of words, I don't agree with that particular, because I think that moment is cherished.
Okay, Nana, we've heard the arguments. In fact, he cited the Apollo, which Sarkodie even cited in his interview. There are people who have also said Sarkodie was celebrated. That moment was cherished when he won the BET. In fact, the international collaborations that he's done and all of that.
Yeah.
Would you say, based on the facts that the people have presented and what Sarkodie said, did Sarkodie in a way goof as they are making us believe?
Okay. You know, thank you. You know, Achiame,
yes,
played at Apollo. They had to come and say it at the time Sarkodie Apollo thing happened. Let me elevate the conversation. What Sark said, or he has been propagating, even in the one play interview with Tileke Nipa, is the fact that when it becomes a country war, I'm elevating the conversation now. When it becomes a country war, then Ghanaians fight the Ghanaian in the country war. The Ghanaians don't defend the Ghanaian in the battle. This is what I mean. When Burna Boy's Grammy thing came up, Ghanaians descended on Ghanaian artists to the extent that even some media people bash Ghanaian artists for being lazy. That's where the conversation is. Cherishing moments means that at a time where a Grammy has been won, a BET has been won several times, and at the time where the BET was won, we as Ghanaians picked it up first. So when I say that you don't cherish moments, I am not saying that you don't, I have to make my records loud. I get that part, but I'm saying that you have, as a country, as a fan, as a Ghanaian, when we are going against another country, you have to raise your voice and say, yes, you win Grammy, congratulations. But we've beaten you guys on so many grounds. This ground, that ground, that ground, that ground. Do you get it? On so many grounds. Now, when it happens, people don't do that. Instead of them to refer to the moment that we've had, that we've been joyous. And I like the example he gave. That we've had and we have made noise about, we rather come and insult the artists as if they have never done anything in the past. That is why today, a certain Obranfo is questionable in certain conversations about his Paimuka being the best album of all time. That's why today, a certain Reggie Rockstone has to fight to establish the fact that he brought hip life. Today, I can give you 7 examples. TikTok literally has to fight to let Ghanaians know that, yo, we had MTV base in Ghana with Gil Green first. The guys, where were you? A certain Kangaroo. VIP has to remind Ghanaians that, yo, don't fall for this Nigerian dematic. Before P Square, VIP was the biggest in Africa. That's what the conversation is. When you bring it to the local setting, you just reduce the heaviness of the conversation of what Sarkodie is saying. You know, I've heard people, I've followed the argument a lot, and people have said, yeah, Ghanaians, they cherish Sark. Look at what they are doing for Sarkodie. They don't do it for Shatawale. They don't do it for Stonebwoy. They don't do it for Kwesi Arthur. The same Ghanaians. Do you know why they are saying that?
Why?
Because Sarkodie said it in another country.
Like,
the same thing, Sark said it in one place interview with Tilly. Said it on radio on Hits FM. The same thing. Everywhere he's been going recently, he's been saying it. A Ghanaian is pissed because you should have been patriotic to defend us over there when a Nigerian was telling you that your people don't know what they have.
But you think we don't know what we have?
I don't think Ghanaians know what we have.
We don't?
We don't.
Really?
Let me tell you something.
Even to the extent of patronizing Sarkodie's events and all?
I was coming to that. You know, that conversation made me laugh. When I heard I was laughing, I laughed and I fell down in my office. SAC Nation are Ghanaians, I agree.
Yeah.
But it's 0.00001 of total population of Ghana. And look at what SAC Nation is able to do. It's not literal. Don't take it literal.
Okay.
Don't take it literal. So, look at what that fan base is able to do for their artists. Imagine that we have 2/3 of that for our artists. You know, in football, Ghana has a lot of history. As a matter of fact, some of the legends that we've had in Ghana always cry that they regret playing the national team. Edu Kofi, am I right? Edu Kofi is what's his name? Osei Kofi is one, right? The Polos are all there. The problem is that at the time where you need a Ghanaian to say we have done it before and be proud and be a proud Ghanaian is when the Ghanaian will say Munyeshe, Ghana for Munyeshe, Maya lazy, Maya this, Maya that. I'm telling you. So we listen.
But you see, that's an instance. So lumping or to make a statement like
what's an instance? It's an instance like, are you saying that I can count 20 legends in Ghana, right? Who cannot match up? I don't want to use fella because it will be too much. Who cannot match up to Angelique Kidjo in Ghana? Not awards wise. I'm talking about African musically, recognition wise, acceptance by the people pushing for their legend to be accepted by Africa as the legend. We don't have, because individual fights among us prevents us to take a certain agenda to the world and say, this is Nenebi, he is the prolific writer. Let's go to Osibisa. That one is true. Osibisa was so powerful in Africa. I don't think any African group, I've seen the Nigerians trying to push, is this Sunny Day or somebody and his band? Chisani Ade and his band. They are not close to Osibisa. Don't joke. Today, Bessa Simons can talk on radio and somebody can throw an insult at Bessa Simons. What I'm trying to tell you is that, listen, at the point where, when we lost the battle, when culture custodians, which you said, like the media houses should do their researchers, lost the conversation when they joined the population to downplay the artistic works of our Ghanaian artists. That's when the problem began. So if you're asking about instances, I say it's not instances. It is something that is there. You and I sitting here today, we've spoken about Kwesi Boaji before, and we said that Kwesi Boaji was getting lazy. And I even made the claim that if I compare Kwesi Boaji to the Larry Kings, after so many years they've been working and they've been on their feet and they've been driving the conversation, right? Now, if I go to Nigeria, and like I have been to Nigeria, where a similar conversation came up, and I said, hey, no, I will not agree. My fellow Ghanaian stars picked phone and called me to say, why am I in Nigeria saying something that is not true? I'm telling you for a fact. I was in Nigeria, I was on Cool FM, Beats FM, I've been on so many stations, Sound City and everywhere, and I heard songs being played by not just Sarkodie, Wendy Shea songs, I was hearing so many songs, and I was tweeting.
They play Kwame Eugene a lot.
I was tweeting. I took Kwame Eugene to Sound City MVP Awards, and we were backstage, and I saw Nigerians queue to take a picture with Kwame Eugene, and I made a post. A friend of mine who's a star called me and said, why am I lying? Stoneboy was on stage. I was in the grand arena, the circle where the oval where the common floor, whatever people were, the regular people were, and they were shouting Stoneboy's name. Kwame Eugene performance, the crowd was shouting Angela. When he was leaving, they were still saying, don't leave, don't go, don't go. And I made the post. I'm coming. Do you know what the Ghanaians did? They did a rebuttal on the internet to say that what I was writing was wrong because they were watching on television. So if you're thinking about instances, I'll say no, Abrantepa, it's not instances.
It's not instances. So for you, all the time, we don't hold on to moments. I think, you see, no, wait.
You say, hold on. The question is cherish. Don't use hold on. Like I'm saying, every Ghanaian, like he said.
No, but we don't hold on to moments. It's something Sarkodie used in his statement.
Yes, but I'm saying that
so I'm not
the conversation of Asamoah being the first player to score the fastest goal at the World Cup, right?
Yes.
will be quickly rubbish. I'm just saying as an example. Against another foreign player who probably scores a similar thing. And then they will use the Asamoah penalty miss to insult him and say, Fio say a penalty. To you as a fan or Ghanaian, you might be joking. To the world, you are actually giving somebody, like he said, records to hold in high esteem. Do you know that the young boxer who went for the Olympic, right? Who has the president has given some accolades and money to support, right? In not a year, 6 months time, will not be remembered as a Ghanaian who has won an Olympic.
So for how long should we hold on to a moment for
Forever.
you to know that we cherish?
Forever. Today, Lumba, forever. Do you know what I'm saying? Forever. Yeah. Today, Lumba conversation. The moment a Nigerian says Fela is big, and I expect Ghanaians to say no, he's not bigger than Lumba. He's not bigger than Amachi Dede. He's not bigger than Kojo. A Ghanaian quickly runs to go and play Celebration. If Amachi is doing a show, if Kojo is doing a show, and you put a Ghanaian together to say, let's hail it like how Celebration has been hailed, you will not get it. You will get some media custodians who will say, I'm telling you.
Then again, there is a section that speak against the Mutametrim mantra.
Which section is that?
Oh, are you saying that all media people?
Listen, I have sat with DJs. I have sat with DJs who are renowned DJs who have been 50 years in the industry.
But not all of them.
I am not speaking here as.
But not all of them.
I'm not speaking here as a blogger or a panel.
No, I'm not. Nobody is saying that.
Listen, I'm speaking today as an artist manager, as a publicist, as a public relations person. I'm telling you that I have sat with DJs. Personally, I have had that experience. Do you know the magnitude of Nanaya in Africa? We went to Sierra Leone and we couldn't even get out of a car to go to a hotel. Nanaya, Patama daughter Nanaya, Kojentry. They were all shouting, America, America, America. We literally had to beg people in Ghana to play Nanaya's song. People came to us and said that you cannot do a song like this, sing like Davido. Do you want me to mention it? I can mention names. This topic is important to me because if we don't address it tomorrow, forget Sack. Let me use Stone as an example. I picked up Stone Boy from London in 2011 or 12. Stone Boy was the first African artist to say, I do Afro dancehall. On record, I have the video on YouTube today. Stone Boy was chastised for saying he does Afro dancehall 5 years later. Burna Boy says, I do Afro fusion and Afro dancehall. Ghanaians are hailing and Africa is hailing. When Stone Boy went on an interview in USA, one of them, I've forgotten the online radio station, and he said that I started Afro dancehall. Now he, Stone Boy, Ghanaians said, hey, since when did you come? You
see, the point is,
relax.
I'm coming.
No, relax. I get the conversation of public relations in every artist team. I do respect that. But culture custodians must be able to drive the agenda, drive the vehicle home, so that generations and generations to come will have that. Why is Kanye West still the most powerful artist in the world? How is he able to sell 2 shows at the Mercedes-Benz Center without even moving a finger? Because you see, culture custodians in America respect the Ye brand. Jay-Z does a verse and it becomes a big name because culture custodians. You have Ibro in the morning, you have Zayn Louis, you have Shawtyman, all these guys sitting down to put respect on the person who is speaking. Till date, Pac and Biggie are in conversations in America. Why? Because culture custodians respect the Biggie and the Pac conversation. When you
have these conversations like this, I don't want us to get, because you are talking to the public, I don't want us to get into the nitty-gritty of things, right? The reason why someone like Kanye West would always, I love Kanye West, I mean, it's probably the biggest Kanye West fans in Africa, right? But the reason why Kanye West will constantly be able to, be in conversations, right? Because there is somebody who invested his money in Kanye West 20 years ago, who hasn't finished reaping the benefit of his money. And that person will always make sure that Kanye West will be in conversations.
Thank you for that example. No, thank you for that. Wait, hold on.
No. The reason why people like
thank you for that example. See, thank you. Relax. Thank you for that example. This example, the example you just made, right? Even elevates the conversation to the most painful part.
So, someone like Sarkodie, right?
Okay.
Why would somebody? Okay. I don't want to do like I'm arguing against him because that's not what I'm trying to do.
No, it's fine.
But why would somebody?
We are all learning. So
why would somebody invest their time and love in Sarkodie? What benefit would they reap from that?
I'll tell you what.
I'm coming. You see, when you're thinking about things, don't think about things in the abstract. The reason why somebody will invest their energy on Kanye West is because the person will reap financial benefits. You understand? The conversation we should be having is that why should people understand why they need to promote Sarkodie? How does it affect me
Okay,
financially.
So I'll tell you why.
So
I'll tell you what.
I'll
tell you that it's not
let's wrap.
I'll tell you something. You see the conversation he brought up about somebody investing, right? Your investment in Ghana is not guaranteed because I say it on authority.
I agree. Hold on.
It's not guaranteed because your culture custodians don't know their job. I almost use the fucking FF word. They don't. We don't know our job. Do you know why I'm saying that? If today, Rock Nation, right? I mean Def Jam and Epic and all these sub labels under the big labels decide to do their own thing and not involve culture, the people who sit at the gate of culture in our conversations, right? They will soon, Kanye will pass.
Yeah, but the issue with that is,
DJ Ames, who has invested and made sure that Castro became who Castro was before whatever happened to him. Today, he ended up as a pandit. And when he passed away, we had to contribute money. I am speaking to you as a publicist, as a manager. It's this painful. When you take the conversation where he's taking it, you realize that Ghanaians, we kill. Like it's like this was said on the Bull Show, and I totally agree with him. I'll give you an example. Phase 1 of a Ghanaian loving a talent. Wow, amazing talent. He will do well. He will be successful. He will be big. Phase 2, the talent gets to grow. Wow. The talent gets called by a culture custodian person. Oh, Charlie, my busy kakra. Eh, she said, "Oh, you too know. Oh, you're arrogant, pa. Oh, you better fair no." As a matter of fact, I sit on a conversation that a group of culture custodians, who they call gateways, deliberately sang Sarkodie's Mary album. I say it on record because I know I've been in the and I fought those guys. It was a conscious effort to make sure that the guy they said he's being pompous. He does it. If you don't understand brand and brand values, then artists are also product. He is an artist. He knows what I'm saying. You will downplay when an artist tells you to cherish my moments, because to you, you don't see the benefit. I'll tell you the benefit. When you travel, I travel a lot. I do travel sometimes around the world. When you travel and you go to a restaurant and they say, "Oh, are you Ghanaian?" Do you know your first passionate point as a Ghanaian to them? 1 is sports. Then 2 is music.
Yeah.
Do you know the music? What they go to? Your music. This guy. I like this guy. I like this guy. Sarkodie. I like this guy. I like this guy. Shatawale. So it automatically, as a Ghanaian in another man's country, you get comfort because your star has shined in another country. Therefore, it is reflecting on you.
Okay, Nene, come in with your point and let me.
Okay, so there are so many things you said I wanted to respond to.
I don't know if it's summarize it.
You see, the point is about the international examples you gave, right? A lot of these examples, you cannot take them in vacuum, because Universal, who owns Def Jam and the labels Jay-Z and Kanye assigned to, they also own media houses. You understand? They also own TV stations. They also own radio stations. Charlemagne's bosses also have record labels that they own, and they'll make sure Charlemagne talks about those artists who are on the record labels that they own. You understand? So probably maybe I agree with the point about investment, right? And how your investment is not guaranteed in Ghana. That is not even a question that's limited to just entertainment. In my book, everything that happened and the people who made it, there are 2 or 3 chapters where I made reference to a lot of these things. There's a chapter where I talked about how VIP became big in Nigeria. That chapter, I interviewed a lot of people, including Goodies, right? And Goodies was telling me how when you cannot sit in your country and have influence across the continent. He was saying the fact that, he said a statement that was the title. He said, music is universal, but language is not. And what he was explaining to the sense that people need to know what your music means. And when he said what your music means, doesn't mean that they should understand the language you are speaking. They should know who the artist is. So when you want people in Nigeria to like you, you're supposed to go to Nigeria and they should see you and know you so they will like you. If you want people in South Africa to like you, you're supposed to go to South Africa, let them see you and see what VIP means, what a VIP culture is. And that's when people fall in love with you. And so the reason why VIP became big across the continent was because VIP went to these countries and they touched down with people, spend months there, had girlfriends there. Their girlfriends will go and talk to their other friends. You know, that's how you sell an artist. You understand? Okay. So someone like Sarkodie, the chapter about Sarkodie, I talked about the fact that in 2012, Sarkodie made a decision that he wanted to be big across Africa. So he hired a team outside Ghana, and the team outside Ghana started promoting him across Africa, and that's when he put out the Psychology album. And that album had a lot of Nigerian features, because then even DSTV was moving their major operation from South Africa to Nigeria, because that's what was happening. So Sarkodie had to find a way to blend with Nigeria. That ended up benefiting his career, and now he became known across Africa, right? He put in an effort to do that. And I think that's what Sarkodie was trying to. I think a lot of people took Sarkodie's words out of context, right? Was when, even with the interview he did with your platform, he talked about the fact that the Ghanaians support him, but he had to end that. When he said he had to end that, he's talking about the work he put in.
Yep.
You understand? And I don't think that that was a way of insulting Ghanaians, that, you know, you have not done nothing for me. No, he said it's 50-50. He put in work and they accepted the work. You understand? So I feel like even other artists aside, there's something I was thinking about that when we were talking. I just remember what I was thinking about. On the internet, it's very, very, very difficult to control everything people say about you.
True.
And every story you put up, you're going to have 30% negative comment, 30% positive comments, and 40% of comments that you can't place whether they're negative or positive, right? So it's up to you, the artist, to elevate the 30% which are positive. I always tell artists that it's hurtful and painful when you are seeing negative things about you, right? But you're supposed to make it a point to elevate only the positive things about you.
Final words.
Yes, how many profile? I think that it has been established. The cancer in our country, it's deeper than what we think it is. So anybody who trivializes the conversation that has been elevated or raised by SAC is going to affect the agenda we are trying to drive. Let me tell you what we are trying to drive. We want a young boy who is 10 years old, when he gets to 18 years old, to know that a certain A person did this, and that you have to put respect on the person's name.
Correct.
That is why young artists, put the camera on me, let me say it to young artists. When they are at Ghana Music Awards and it's Lifetime Achievement Awards, and they mention Bob Pinodo, they don't know who he is, because culture custodians are quiet on all these legends. Today, if I ask you about Papa Yankson songs, can you remember all of them?
Oh, all of them, say. Some of them, not all of them.
In America,
Papa Yankson has man of my all-time.
No, I'm not sure he meant to say all of them.
I meant all of them.
All of them, say.
All of them.
I've seen shows where, you know,
and I recall all his songs.
I'm a person references with, but there are young boys today who sing word for word all songs from Shatawale, all songs from Kwesiata, all songs from Sarkodie, all songs from. Do you know why? Because now they are in vogue. It's being hammered to you every time.
Those guys will grow up, and in the next 10 years they can sing those songs. They can sing those songs.
Yes, so I'm saying that
because me right now, every Samini song,
final words,
every Okonfo Kwade song from
you can sing on. Because you know why? Because at the time that they were in vogue, yes, you got. So if culture custodians do their job, everybody will know the importance of the magnitude of the things that people have done. See, don't take it to just music. Take it to movies. Today, when we mention Grace Naughty, a lot of people don't know. When we say by the fireside, a lot of people don't know. It's not about bringing it back. It's about the fact that the people who sit at the gate, we hammering it, because there are generations that come every single time. So if you don't do it, today you are on GhanaWeb. You're lucky for you. There's YouTube. When a boy goes, if you go check him, he says, "Hey, my papi, there YouTube guy, you show so." But there's a certain old presenter. Old presenter, Bia. Not today, he nobody knows him. So if the Ghana Music House is happening, even the younger host, when they are supposed to introduce an older person, you see how they do the introduction, there's no value. The question is, the thing is, the value is missing. So don't trivialize the Sarkodie thing. It's an agenda. TikTok Obranfo, Dogo, Okratom, Motia, and all the boys from Hammer. Tiny, today Tiny drops a song and somebody has the nerve to say, on no kind of time at Yembo. Oh, how dare you! Cut the show.
Charlie, before don't come in. So in October this year, my first book will be coming out. The title is Everything That Happened and the People That Made It. And the book is profile of the top 10 most influential entertainment brands in Ghana for the past 10 years. And today we talked a lot about record keeping. The book is a record of what has happened in the past 10 years in the entertainment industry in Ghana. And I spoke to some of those influential people. I spoke to some of those brands. I mean, the people behind some of these brands. To some of the people. I spoke to people in academia. I spoke to people in academia about, you know, why Ghanaians are so passionate about someone like Shatawale. I spoke to business people about, you know, investing in other people. You understand? And so I feel like this book is probably the greatest book anybody who is interested in entertainment should read. And so you can follow me on my Instagram, his Nenenes, on my Twitter, @yournenenes. It's important to follow me on those platforms so that you can you know make reference to it. You can get access to the book when it's out.
World show with Sarkodie, episode 3. I mean, so far, thank you guys so much for the feedback. Episode 3 is coming. Sarkodie, at a point in music, will venture into education. We will tell you the profession Sarkodie is thinking of in episode 3.
Minimum.
Also, Sarkodie once made mockery of a certain old man, Anna of Bonasum. All of that and more. Both show episode 3, Sunday 8 p.m. on YouTube at One Play Africa. You have to watch it.
Right, so that's all time will allow us on this episode of Bloggers Forum. The show has been sponsored by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has all you want from juicy smoothies, jollof fried rice, spag and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you the McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get one small pizza, fries and chicken, one cola drink at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesdays at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your family size pizza half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. And also remember to start your weekend with special jollof fried rice from Cheesy Pizza branches every Friday. Call 026-4133-397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. A reminder that the GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign is still ongoing. As part of our 22nd anniversary, we want to help reduce the rate of accidents on our roads. And so if you see anything that poses as a threat to lives and property, kindly film them or alert us. Let's get interactive on social media at the GhanaWeb, on all social media platforms at the GhanaWeb, or send us an email, newswires@ghanaweb.com, newswires@ghanaweb.com. The GhanaWeb Excellence Awards nominations are still open till August 31. So get on the website www.ghanaweb.com and you see the forms, nomination forms placed randomly, or send us an email, awards@ghanaweb.com, awards@ghanaweb.com. There are 17 categories up for grabs. You nominate and then you give reasons for your nomination. So if you are nominating Nani Aredu as Blogger of the Year, Nani Aredu, the name and then the reason that's for which you are nominating him. GhanaWeb Excellence Awards, that's it. I've been on the show with Nane Aredu. He's with OnePlayAfrica.com. He's an event organizer, artist manager, content creator, everything showbiz. Nenebi is a columnist. He's a poet. He's also into event artist management, and he's an author. His book is coming out this year. Finally, the book is coming out. Yeah. Thank you for being on the show. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantipa. We'll see you some other time with yet another exciting edition of Bloggers Forum. We out.
One of the things GhanaWeb is doing, which in my estimation, is one of the best things, is trying as much as possible to give pictorial in terms of video of whatever it's reporting online. Unlike those days where you only had to read about text. This time around, they've gone a step ahead and to ensure that there's a video added to whatever content they are putting out there for readers to also have a feel of the story. One of the things I think GhanaWeb can do is to, apart from the online TV, go on a full-fledged TV channel rather than the online TV. I think that would help. I've seen that the online TV is helping, but they should just go in a full channel. Keep up the good work. There may be challenges, but don't be deterred by those challenges. Challenges are bound to happen in every institution, and try and work harder. Focus on whatever you set to do for yourself, and I'm sure as the years roll by, you achieve those challenges.
This week on The Untold, we sit with a nonagenarian, Nana Timothy Ayekusi, as he shares his life story with us. A man who's lived pre-independence into post-independence time, shares with us what he thinks about life today and all the perspectives about his life, as well as some of the things that he hopes would inspire you and I in this week's edition. All the details are right here with us. Come along. Hello, Grandma.
Hello. How are you?
Very well, Grandma.
Oh,
I hope you're
welcome.
fine. Thank you very much. Thank you. How is Daddy?
He's fine.
Very well, very well. Great.
You'll be happy to see you.
We are also glad to be here. We're actually glad. Thank you. Nana Kusi was just 6 years old when his father sent him away to live with his uncle in the hills of Mampong. And he explains why his father had to take such a decision.
I am Nana Kusi. I was born during the Depression year on January 9th, 1932. I was born into a Christian home. My father moved from town to the Christian quarters when I was at the age of 3. And we lived in a very modest, thatched house. There was a catechist house, and then there was an elder also has a house, and we lived in a thatched house. But later on, my father put up a Swiss house containing about 10 rooms. Then we had my aunt and her children living in the compound house together with my grandmother and her children. At the age of 6, my father sent me to live with his brother, my uncle, at Nintin, which was about 5 miles away, up on the hill going to Mampong. Well, in my childhood, I found out that my father had gone to the north, trading in Kola, and the last trip he made was in 1935. And he came back with what they call bush meat. Dry, he goes with the cola, about 6-7 bags of cola, and then he returns with shea nut, meat, and then the Northern food products.
Going to school for him was a privilege, even though he had to trek 2 miles each day to get that education. His father, on one hand too, had a wild expectation for him and his future.
In 1937, I entered school, and the school was up to standard 3, to class 3. So we had class 1, class 1A, class 1B, class 2, class 3. 2 teachers were teaching. One taking class 1A and B, and then the other taking class 2 and class 3. Enrollment was then not encouraging. People were not interested in education. I was lucky to attend school. I found out that my classmates were most of them were looking had their guardians being uncles. A few of us Christians were looking were by our fathers. It was during our turn, going to standard 1, that the school was upgraded to standard 1. So we were spared the benefit of not walking to Jamasi for the junior school. We finished the infant junior school in 1944, and then in 1945, during the war, we had to walk 2 miles every day to school, to senior school at Jamasi Presbyterian School. Throughout the junior school years, there was rage, there was poverty. The Second World War was going on, and then intermittently there were hunger, and sometimes we had to walk miles to buy food from neighboring towns. In 1946, when the war was over, we celebrated the Victory Day celebration at Mampong. All the schools within the district, from Efujasi, from Jamasi, from within Mampotoria Council, came to Mampong to celebrate. I sat for the Standard 7 examination in 1948 and passed with distinction. At that time, there was no common entrance. Students had to find their own schools. I was lucky, I was admitted to Adisada, but later on, I also had admission at the Kropon Training College. The catechist impressed upon my father that it was better I go to a training college rather than the secondary school, and that after teaching for some time, I'll become a pastor, a reverend. My father was enthused about it.
Nana Kusi's career as a teacher took off, and he would serve at a number of stations until a bigger opportunity to leave Ghana knocked at his door.
In 1949, I registered at the Cropon Training College to start the 4-year teacher training certificate A program. We were the 101st to enter the years to enter the school. The school had celebrated the 100 years anniversary in 1948, and we were the first batch students to enter Cropon Training College. The class was composed of 3 kinds of people. We had ex-servicemen, about 1/3 of them, ex-servicemen who were teaching and who are coming in to train. And then we have people teachers who have been teaching for some time. And then the third group was the straight students coming straight from the Standard 7, from the senior school, then senior school. We finished in 1952 when we were certified as trained teachers, being sent to the field. It was in 1951 that during the Nkrumah's Kodjobotio's accelerated education plan that we started having subsidies. Trained teachers were paid £7. That was the amount of money given to pupil teachers. And then the £7 was paid to the training college for tuition and boarding. And I remember that 30 shillings, £1.10 was left for us as a subsidy. And so the teacher's subsidy that exists today was started during during the accelerated education plan in 1951, and I think it has been continuing to date. It was at the same time that the training colleges were expanded to have post-sec, 2-year post-secondary students also being trained. And at the same time, the 4-year stream was divided into 2, that's set B and set A. So many training colleges were set up as certificate B schools to train teachers to man the schools. At the same time, with post-sec also coming in to augment. We were lucky that the accelerated education plan had a lot of opportunities for teachers. Teachers were privileged to undertake further training in specified subjects like PT, physical education, music, arts, and so on and so forth at the Kumasi College of Technology. I was sent to Blonahavo, Sunyani Odumasi, which was then heavily invested by GhanaWeb. but I took care of myself. In those days, in July and August, there will be absenteeism. Most of the peoples had that guinea worm and they could not come to school. Fortunately, today, I think it has been completely eradicated. I took advantage of the opportunity, and then in 1956, came to Kumasi College of Technology to do specialized course in physical education. After which I was sent to Asante Mampong Presbyterian boarding school. Whilst teaching, I took time to better my education. I did the O-level and then also A-level. And in 1960, I was also appointed as an assistant education officer. I went through the orientation program and I was stationed at BBNE. At the same time, I had admission from a college in the United States. So I decided to forego the AEO appointment, get my passport, and undertake the further education in the US.
In the United States of America, the young Nana Kusi would come to find out that he was making history just by gaining admission to that university in the USA.
In January 1962, I flew to Kentucky and then I started a program in business education. Whilst there, I was visiting the local Presbyterian church. One summer, I was invited to go with him to the Presby Synod taking place at Kentucky, Danville in Kentucky. I was invited to speak on Ghana. At that time, Ghana was about 5 years, and I spoke on how education started in Ghana and how Ghana had marched and how Ghana had obtained the independence, and then there was an urge on everyone to develop, and therefore I had come to the United States to further my education. I told them that efforts have been done by the government to send people on scholarship to various parts of the country, various parts of the world, to learn so that we can go back and then develop Ghana. Well, at that point, at the synod, I realized that it was a campus. It was a very nice, small college. So I expressed my wish to move in there. Fortunately, I had admission, and it happened to be a school which was founded in 1819. And I happened to be the first black person to enter the school. Prior to that, the state laws prohibited colors going to the school. But there has been a Supreme Court judgment that all schools should be desegregated. So I was lucky that they applied that rule, and I was the first black person to be admitted into the school. I remember that afternoon when I entered was 18th September 1962. And that was the very day Meredith was being admitted in the University of Alabama, where there was great commotion. But I found Center College to be quiet, modest. With my transcript, instead of 4-year program, I had credits, 1-year credit. So I finished in 1965 with the BA degree in economics and business administration. I continued from there to Atlanta University. First, I came to New York. I went to New York, New School for Social and Science Studies on 12th Street, New York. But I found New York to be very expensive. And without scholarship, I decided to move to Atlanta University, where I had my MBA.
The Peace Corps will become another home for him, and with the rich work and experience he gathered from there, he became convinced it was time to return home.
Luckily, from 65 through 68, I have been working with the Peace Corps program during the summers when they were training the volunteers coming to Ghana. I started in 65 at the Peace Corps volunteer training program in Atlanta in 1965. Then in 1966, we trained them at Barnard College in New York, near Columbia University. Then in 1967, we did the same thing at Wesley, near Boston. Then the Peace Corps invited me to undertake a language program in their Peace Corps training at St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. So I took the advantage to go to the West Indies, and I was able to visit St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Kitts, and many of the islands where the Peace Corps, after their training, would be visiting. In 1968, Peace Corps invited me to accompany Ghana training program to do their first time in-country training in Ghana. So I came with 2 programs. The teachers who were being trained at the Theological Institute, and the co-ops who were being trained at Kumasi Kwadaso Agric Station. It was after the program that I decided to forego my doctorate degree program at Indiana Bloomington and to settle in Ghana to work. since I was teaching, the Ministry of Education invited me to work with them in a program underway, which was introducing the commercial subjects into the secondary school system. Prior to that, there were 2-year commercial private schools doing commercial subjects, typing and shorthand and so on and so forth. But this attempt was to expand and then introduce business education into the secondary school program. I was happy to join them, and I worked with one Canadian expert, A.L. Agu, and we had about 13 pilot schools throughout Ghana where we launched the program. In Accra, we had the Labone Secondary School and Accra Academy. In Kumasi, we have Kumasi Academy and then the Yasantua. In the north, we had the Tamale Business School and then another one. And then at Abuakwa State College, it has been great. Looking back, it's been great because now business education is part and parcel of the secondary school, which wasn't before 1950. Whilst working at the education, I joined the MDPI, Management Development and Productivity Institute, as an assistant consultant, training, organizing short courses for supervisors and first management. But I was also invited to Liver Brothers through attending a management association meeting. I was invited and then interviewed, and then I was appointed into the marketing department as brand manager. I was first in charge of the hard soaps and soaps in general. Then I moved to edible products like the margarine. We introduced the first made margarine in Ghana in 1971. And then Wholesome, which is a baking powder. And then I was invited for discussion, and I was moved from marketing to human resource, where but I was giving attachment programs to strengthen my background before putting me into the position. From Liver Brothers, I joined the PZ. PZ had been a purely trading company, and they were moving into manufacturing, and they needed someone who could recruit and settle people in a manufacturing plant in Tema. They had the thread factory, which is no more. They have Sparta, which is no more. They have AIL, which has now been expanded into producing medicaments and then also some domestic products. Then I joined in 1961 GIMPA. At GIMPA, I was directing programs, human resource management, and then general management. There I had the opportunity to visit India, and I trained at Administrative Staff College of India. I've been a very traditional and academic organization. They organize short training courses, research and consultancy programs. This program was for general managers and managing directors. So we went through programs like strategic planning, corporate planning, and then looking at the organization, the various departments like marketing, production, engineering, human resource, and so on and so forth. At the same time, in 1986, I also undertook training at the Institute of Management at the Botswana, in Botswana. This course was about educating managers and teacher training and trainers training program. Whilst working at the at GIMPA, I was invited by the government to go to the State Enterprise Commission as executive director in charge of human resources. This organization was overseeing the activities of state enterprises. There were 3 of us executive directors: human resource, accounts and finance, and then planning, monitoring, and evaluation. And we had a chairman. So this was the time when there were restructuring going on. World Bank had reviewed and was has recommended the state enterprise state enterprises reform program, and we had to divest many of the companies, and then also strengthen some also. It was at the state enterprises that I retired in 1972, when I was 60. And then I decided to undertake consultancies. I registered a company called Peak Management Services. I first worked as a project manager at a U.S. aid program, which was undertaking training people in non-traditional export. We had programs dealing with cashew farmers, solo pawpaw growers, and then also black pepper farming. We also dealt with exporters, yam exporters and garment exporters, and that was a 3-year program. Then I have done consultancies with World Bank and Commonwealth. One of them took us to Gambia, where we did the a strategy for trading with the Gambian civil and public service. By and large, since 1992, I've been in consultancy to date. For the past 2 years, there isn't much consultancy, and we seem to be idle. But by and large, we are happy and then making it.
At the 200th anniversary of his school, Center College in the United States of America, in 2019, he got a rare opportunity to grace the occasion as a special guest. Nana Kusi explains why his selection was even more special.
2 years ago, in 2019, I was invited by Center College, the school I attended in the U.S. I was to be an honorary guest of honor at their 200th anniversary. They were celebrating the 200th anniversary. It was started in 1819. And I was invited because, looking at the history of the college, they found out that the greatest thing that the college had done was integration. So they invited me as the first black as the guest of honor. At that anniversary, I was also given, I was awarded the Integration Pioneer. And we spent about a week at the ceremony, and then I was taking around activities within my wife and I around Kentucky, visiting Lincoln's birthplace and boyhood place, I also took advantage to visit my church, the church I attended at Danville, Kentucky, and they took me to the Presbyterian headquarters in Louisville, Kentucky, for a visit. I spent about 4 months after that and returned when the COVID-19 started.
In 1971, a few years before he went on retirement, he met his current wife, and he talks about how he met her.
My first marriage ended whilst I was in the US, and whilst working in Ghana after 1971, I found my wife, Mercy Abigail Amprechum, and who was the first daughter of the senior linguist of the Traditional Council at Mampong, Ochiami Okofo Techi Amprechum. So we married then. He was then a nurse working first at Kolebu and then in Accra at Kumasi Central Hospital when she finished, but then was transferred to Accra. Since then, she's undergone through midwifery and then public health nursing, and she moved. Whilst I was working with Liver Brothers, she joined me at Tema in 1972. We've been since married. Yes.
His wife, Mercy, also describes circumstances under which they met, describing him as a historian, a disciplinarian, but a very faithful man.
Whilst I was doing the public health nursing, I met my husband. So because of that, after completing the public health nursing, I was going to be posted to the north. But because of him, it couldn't come on because he wouldn't allow me to go. So I had to leave the Ministry of Health and then join the industrial nursing. So I joined Ghana Aluminium Products as the senior nurse at the factory. And in fact, I remained there till I retired. I worked with them till I came on retirement. And it's because of him we came to Tema. At first we were staying at Community 2, and then later on we had this building and then we moved here. We've been here since then. He's been my husband, and I've lived with him throughout the years we've spent in Tema here. He is a quiet person. If you come to visit him, then you see that he is a historian. He knows everything, almost everything. But when you are with him in the house, he doesn't talk. He's so quiet. He will be sticking to his books. And now that the phones are with us, always with the phone. Sometimes even when we are talking to him, he won't hear because he's so with the phone. And he is a disciplinarian with the children. And I can see that he's faithful What I realized about him is that wherever he is working, he remained faithful. Even I remember when he was with the Liver Brothers, I heard that they were giving passbooks to people. So I wanted to have a passbook in addition to my nursing career. I told him and he disagreed. He never helped me. He said he wouldn't do it. When he went with a PZ to, I wanted to have another passbook, he didn't agree. He wanted to remain to his duty and then to be faithful. He doesn't want to give the job to any other person, a relative or his wife or anybody.
But how has Nana Kusi lived so long? His wife lets out all the secrets.
He's not, he doesn't choose much about food. He's not so choosy. Whatever you give him, he will eat. He is not a person who says, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like that. The only thing I've seen is he lives more on leaves. Leaves. There isn't any leaf in Ghana here that he doesn't know how to eat it. Sometimes, even when he goes out, we go out and he's coming, he will be carrying his own leaves. Prepare this for me and prepare that for me. So he's been depending on the leaves. I think that has helped him to live up to this age because he eats a lot of leaves. And then fruits. He doesn't eat much. And he likes sleeping. He can sleep. Even you'll be sitting with him conversing. By the time you turn your head, he's asleep. He sleeps a lot. And I know sleeping too is a medicine. It helps. So that one too helps him to live up to this. And he's not very difficult to live with. It's not so difficult to live with. We've been living here peacefully. I don't worry him much. And he doesn't worry me. So we live at peace.
Continue thriving and obviously achieve higher, and everybody knows that even though I'm not working with them again, but my personal relationship with the owner and many of the management and the staff, it is where my heart is. So I wish them very well, but I'm sure that even without wishes they will still do very well.
Welcome to another edition of Say It Loud with me, Lord Harris Idwasari. Today I'm at Nima, specifically Freetown, and I'm standing on this bridge because it is the site where a 27-year-old fuel attendant was hit by a stray bullet after a scuffle of some sort. I'm here to find out from family and other eyewitnesses to tell us exactly what happened, because from the reports that we have gathered, the lady eventually died. When we return from the break, we'll speak to the family and other guests and we'll get straight into the conversation. Please don't go anywhere, do stay. Welcome back. You're still watching Say It Loud with me, Lord Harris Idwasare. Now, like I stated earlier, we are here to speak to the family of Eunice Yeboah. That's the name of the lady who was hit by the stray bullets. Now, we have the brother, mother, essentially the siblings and the mother, but we'll speak to Wisdom first, since Wisdom was at the scene of the incident. Wisdom, thank you for speaking with us. We know this is a very painful recollection for you, but give us a bit of a background. What exactly happened here?
Okay, it was a Sunday night evening when she was coming from mommy's place, and I met her along the road. And then there is a wedding ceremony going on here, and then the guys were giving a gunshot here and there. So as soon as I met her, and she said, "Oh, brother, I'm going home, but I'm afraid of what they are doing, so I should hold her hand and then escort her to the other side of the bridge for her to go home." And I said, "Okay, let's go." So I held her hand, we were going, and then a step to get out of the bridge, and then she started shouting, "My leg, my leg, my leg." I was thinking she's joking, because when the sound came out, I was thinking maybe because of the sound she's afraid or something. I went back and checked, not knowing it's very serious, very, very bad.
She had been hit by one of the gunshots.
Yeah. So as soon as the thing happened, I grabbed her, carried her. There was a taxi park over here, and then I put her in the taxi. Then we drove away to the nearest hospital. So from there,
which hospital did you take her?
I first took her to the Mamumbi Polyclinic.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the doctor came out, injected her with some drugs, I don't know, and then they said we should go in for folder, and then also we should go in for lab. So we are running all those tests, but we could see what the doctors are doing. We are not much confident that they could do something about that, so we asked for a referral letter, and then they gave us to us, and then we moved her to Rich.
Why were you not confident about the competence of?
When we get there, there is a whole lot of injuries there. Some people get accidents on motorbikes, so they are not paying exact attention how we wanted it.
The day you went there, there were other injuries that people were taking care of.
Yeah. So it was like there are like 3 or 4 people there. I think 2 ladies and then a doctor and one guy there. So we were like, no, what they are doing, we are not much comfortable with what they are doing. So like they should give us a referral letter for us to move there. So they gave us, and then we move. We get to Reach. They were like, no, they can't do anything about this, so we should go to police hospital. And then we moved to police hospital. When we get there, they should take out the lady. They said no, we should leave the lady in the taxi for them to do some things. I don't know what they are going to do before, although it's their job though. But
what did they tell you that they required before they had to treat?
Okay, they said we should go out and do X-ray.
Okay.
Yeah, but before then they will give us a paper or something. It's their job, but I just don't know. But it's very sad and also painful. We, the family, we are suffering, and how the pain she's going through is very, very bad. So when we get there, they said we should go in for X-ray. So we are waiting outside almost like 15 to 30 minutes.
Show me on your body exactly where Eunice was hit. You said she was hit in the leg, but show me.
Okay, right here.
So she was on the left side. So she was hit in the left hip.
Yeah. And then came out here. So everything was showing here. The bullet
went through her hip to
showing here.
Okay. So at the point where you were at the police hospital, is that where you said you went?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure she was bleeding profusely. And take me through that. After the hospital told you to get some things, what did you do about it?
Yeah, so after we went in for the X-ray and then we came back to the hospital and other stuff, and they said we should get some drugs and a whole lot of things. So we were going up and down, doing what we're supposed to do, and then get whatever we need for them to be able to take off the girl.
At that point, what state was Eunice in? Because you said that she was bleeding a lot. Was she still conscious? Was it that the wound was opened, or when you went to the previous place, it had been they had put some bandage or something on it? What exactly?
Okay,
what
so
condition was she in?
She was in a very bad condition at that moment.
She was still conscious?
Yeah. It was bad. So after everything, and then they said we should wait for the doctor who will come and take in charge of the operation side and everything. And I was like, oh, they should do something about it, because the girl is she's very, very serious, and then, like, she's suffering inside. She's very, very suffering inside.
Did she tell you anything when you were in the taxi and you were running around?
She was shouting, her tummy, her womb, complaining here and there, shouting seriously.
So eventually, after he took the X-ray, what happened?
So we went back to the hospital, and then we give everything to the nurses, and then they were running their tests or whatever. So at that moment, they pull out her blood that we should go and do another test for them to see. So
at this point, where was she? Was she still in the taxi, or you are taking her into the hospital?
No, at that moment she's in the hospital.
Okay.
Yes. So we went to run the blood test, and then we came back. So they were waiting for the result before they could attend to her. And we said no. They said we should wait. So they should do something about the lady. She's suffering. So from there, and then I think they went to the lady doing whatever they can, and then the next day, and then when the doctor comes, they said we should go get some blood for them to operate Eunice. So I went out to get the blood, but then they said it's not their patient, so they can't do anything about it.